Yo, what up, it's your boy, True to K TV, back again with another live stream. Oh, man, I wasn't even supposed to do this live, dude, to be honest with y'all. Hey, Tiffany, that Nicholas Brown, salute, man. Y'all come hit that like button, man. Hey, Gree, what up, man? Hey, man, okay, listen, man. I wasn't supposed to go on live, though. I was trying to chop it a little bit, you know what I mean? I had to work. I'm only going to be here still like I got covered. What up, who jogging? Christopher D. Salute to y'all. Salute to y'all. I wasn't supposed to go live, but you know what I mean? Mingle gesture, hey, salute. Wasn't supposed to really go live, but we here now. I got a couple hours, so that's what's good. So, hey man, we dropped the link, man. We dropped the link. Appreciate everybody come through. If y'all new, hit that subscribe button. If y'all new, hit that subscribe button. Hey, I got notifications already, man. Salute to y'all, man. Listen. If y'all didn't know, the King of the Court has been postponed for, I mean, Chris, Jared, MC Robinson, salute. What up, Chris?
What's good, King? What's going on
Cam
with
the
you?
Hooper. Nothing much chilling, man. How about you, man?
Chilling, man, chilling. I just want to talk about this Dame to Miami thing
Yeah.
really quick because why we acting like Damian Lillard at 32 and Jimmy Butler at 35 is anything comparable to LeBron at 25 and D Wade at 28?
I
Like for y'all
agree.
to really,
It's not the same.
talk, yeah, like come on, bro. Like they were arguably two of the top three players in the world. We can barely argue Dame and Jimmy in the top five, and they're getting older.
Right.
So this ain't like is that type of super team now. Let me listen. I think super teams do exist, but I think there's certain levels of super teams. This is definitely this Heat team with Dame, Bam. Unless y'all really want to put that much stock in the Chris Bosh, for Bam to be better than Bosh, but D Wade and LeBron in their primes. Now those two clear Jimmy and Dame as a duo.
It's,
So let's not act like it's that level of super team because it's not. It's not.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you about the super team thing. Me personally, I don't really care about super teams. I used to when I was younger, got caught up
Mm.
into it, but like really realizing it, it's like end of the day, your GMs and team job is to try to make quote unquote super teams or whatever, make a team to try to
Absolutely.
win a championship.
Of course.
That's the.
That's the
I
end
mean,
goal.
regardless of you have to get the job done. Cause we have also saw quote unquote super teams also fail. So it's like
Yes,
whatever.
a lot
You
that we
have
don't talk
to
about.
right. So at the end of the day, if it's super team, if it's not super team, any day you got regardless. They ain't go to Miami. They got to get the job done. You know what I mean? Regardless of, but at the same time, you do have to have realistic expectations on what they should do. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Khalil, I seen that Grant went to the Mavericks, man. I seen that, man.
Yeah, that's a good trade for the Mavericks. The Mavericks are loading up on some wings that
Yeah, I don't know. So,
That was a great trade.
they got
hey,
Thibault in it. Now they got Grant.
Celtics got a couple second rounds in that. It's very interesting that the Celtics didn't match that. 'Cause that was I mean, it was only on what
Grant
12,
Williams,
13
yeah, he
games.
was. I think he shot
Well,
what
Celtic
45%
from
from the
shooting
three
Celtics
for
probably
in the playoffs.
so
Celtics probably gonna flip the second round pick and trade it for something
Nah, they
else.
got something under their sleeve though. Speaking of
Yeah,
Dame,
yeah,
they got something under their sleeve they trying to do.
yeah. I agree.
I mean, listen, is Miami the only one in the Dame sweepstakes? You know what I mean?
Is
Yeah.
you
They're
trading?
not going.
Is you trading Jalen Brown for
No,
Damian Lillard straight up?
If
no,
who? If
no, I
you're
wouldn't.
Portland or if you're Boston,
Hmm.
I'm not doing. I'm
If
me personally,
if
I
you're
wouldn't do it.
Boston, I know Portland wouldn't.
But
I
I
know
think
Portland
the
would want
Celtics are
a little bit
trying
more than
to.
that.
The Celtics are trying to. I think they're trying to get Dame without trading. It's going to be multiple teams a part of it. That's what think they're trying to do.
I would
But
say unpopular opinion. I probably would, and not because I think that Dame is better than Jalen Brown as far as value wise. It's just I think Boston's made it clear that they're going a different path. Boston's made it clear they want a four stretcher. With Porzingis, he's
yeah,
a he's an iffy guy because he's always hurt, but he has a lot of potential. You get rid of your heart and soul of your team with Marcus Smart, so it's showing that whatever they thought they had, with Brad, I forget his goddamn last name, his iteration of that club, it ain't working. it's just for whatever reason that two-headed monster with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, it ain't gonna work. So I wouldn't put it out the wheelhouse. They just gonna blow the shit up and
The
probably
reason why, in my opinion,
yeah,
is Tatum plays like a 2 and Brown play like a 1 at times, and that's
right,
why it don't work.
right.
Because if Tatum plays like a 1 all the time, then it will work. Because Brown, he's always balling out for most of the time, most part. It's just Tatum, he shoots too many threes, he takes too many jump shots. If he had Brown mentality, Tatum would be a clear cut number 1, and will make Boston a championship team. But
Agreed.
Tatum mentality holds them back because
But Brown's
it makes the offense at times unbalanced because Brown will take it over, then Tatum would it'll be like basically your turn, my turn kind of offense.
What about with Marcus Smart? Do you think he kind of like? Because I know he wasn't. Because everyone always says that Tatum was the best player on that team, but Marcus Smart was the actual leader. So with their leader actually being gone, do you think that actually forces Tatum to want
there's
to
a bunch
step
of
up as a
leaders
leader?
on. I
yes,
mean, the
absolutely.
thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah, like
the thing is though, the Celtics got Mark Smart wasn't just the only leader of the team.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
I mean, of course, when it comes to like
Al
that
He was a
grit
point
Horford
or
guard. He
whatever
was
the
a
case
point
may
guard.
be,
Al Horford was a leader too.
he was
Yeah,
Marcus
Al
Smart
Horford
was
was
the Marcus Smart was the necessarily like
heart and soul.
he was the guy that was there before everybody else 9 years. Of course, we understand that the heart and
He was
soul.
the heart and
But
soul.
at the same
Absolutely.
Right.
but at the same time, you got Porzingis.
True,
I
but is
mean,
he gonna be
like
like an
no,
actual leader though?
Who's
Like
that?
you're not. You
I
don't.
don't see
You
leadership
don't need
qualities in
Porzingis. You don't need
Porzingis.
Porzingis to be a leader
No,
though. But at the
he
same
won't be a leader
time,
at all. No.
but at the
Right.
same time though, you being a leader, that's not going to automatically make you help us win championships. At the end of the day, we got better talent
I think a
in
different
getting.
mentality though. I think it does help. Like especially if he knows that okay, I'm the best player on this team and now I'm the clear-cut leader and I'm actually leading these guys like it's a different sense. Like I'm pretty sure when LeBron on the Heat when he knew that that was finally his team, they won championships. So I'm just saying a switch in the mentality, a switch of the roles. I mean, I don't see how Tatum couldn't take that team to the championship. That's if he does take on that leadership role, though, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, he been doing. I mean, he's slowly been doing that. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
you
right.
look at reports, like he's slowly been doing that, being
Mm-hmm.
more vocal and stuff like that. I mean, it always different types of way to lead and stuff like that, right? He's not like a boisterous. He's not. You know what I mean? He's a laid back guy, but he has shown those leadership qualities. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, because what up, bees? Well, what was it? Slowly been.
One thing I did notice
for
in Jason Tatum's game that did improve not only was his defense but also his playmaking. So they're giving him a lot. So what I do like is the Celtics. They are giving him more responsibilities with the ball handling. Because I think that we can agree that Tatum was a much improved playmaker this year, and I think that we can agree going into next year he should be even better.
Absolutely.
What up, bees? But yeah, going back to that Dame running from the grind like that. I mean, I've seen that because I was listening to it. I was like, it's really gets stupid, right? Because it's like what else do you expect him to do? Like him stay there and basically sense like rot, right? Where he's not going to have an opportunity to win a championship. Now we understand what he said in the past, but that being said, though, the Portland Trailblazers, I don't care what they said. They said they're trying to compete, but clearly they're not trying to compete. If you drafted Scoot Henderson, that didn't make any sense, right? So Dame's decision was, listen, all right, if y'all not going to try to compete and win, then I'm gonna ask for a trade.
And to the king, you
It's
know what's
really that
crazy,
simple.
bro? They
What?
they saying Dame is like running from the ground, but why they ain't say this about KG when KG asked out of Minnesota and wanted to go to Boston? KG went to a super team in Boston, and they say he ran from the ground because he had no help in Minnesota. It's the same situation Dame
Hey,
going through in Portland, but they ain't say KG was running from the ground. It's just a
dog, man.
narrative these niggas trying to push, man, and I don't respect it, bro.
I don't know,
Because
man. It's just stupid, man. Like,
the
what do
man,
you
the
expect him to
man not
do?
running from a grind. The nigga been loyal. He stayed 10 toes down with that
Yeah,
organization, bro. He did
could have
everything
been
that
left.
organization. That's what I'm saying. He did everything that organization asked and more, bro. He stayed even when his best friend left. He said, "Nah, I'ma still stay." He stayed when when they traded all the wings, they let go all the wings. They had Robert Covington, let him go. Norman Powell, let him go. They Seth Curry, they lost Seth Curry. Like they lost all their depth, and he still stayed, bro. He still stayed. They switched coach, and he gave
Right.
the new coach a chance. Like at some point, he knows like he don't have much time left. That's what it is, bro. He comes to the realization, like, bro, I don't have much time left. I'm on the end of my on the backside of my prime. I'm gonna be out of this league soon. It's a young man's league. He know that, and he knows like he only gonna have one opportunity to win the championship. It's not, and it might not come again. Like look at other. He's looking around the league and looking at guys like Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and guys like that, and see they have no championship, bro. And he don't. Dame knows like he's one of the greatest point guards of all time, but he knows that championship it gives you something that other players might not have. You might be ranked over this certain player because you have a championship and they don't, and that's in the back of his mind.
Yeah, it could. I mean, yeah, it could be it too. But also, like his whole Dame whole thing was also to be just compete, and
Man.
clearly the Portland Trailblazers in a different direction. So it's a conflict of interest. It's hard. Then just trade me. Then it's really that simple. Dame knows he can't be in the one on championship team. In fact, Grant Williams was our best defender. After he was not our best defender. So why y'all lying? Like y'all now, Dejan, you were the same person said Grant Williams was trash. Now we messed up for letting him go. When it was been a possibility, we let him go anyway. But
Oh,
I
so
don't know.
not to so much rebuttal what you were saying, Ken. Um, but what I will say is I don't think anyone realistically has a problem with Dame requesting a trade. The issue is the fact that he only wants to go to one destination. Now, granted, listen, we are all human. I understand that we as human beings have the right to change our mind whenever we so see fit. Might want sushi for one day, but I don't want to eat that shit for like a week straight. So maybe maybe I want a little bit of Taco Bell or Chipotle or even Panda Express or any of the other little spots. But my point is that Dame has every right to leave. There's no question. He's just being a bit of a hypocrite when he only wants to go to one championship team that was just in the finals, and then he has no other trade destination. Like it's just the Miami Heat. That's kind of a similar. Like it just doesn't look good because you said that he criticized, joining up, making all these super teams, and he said, "Oh, I will never run from the grind." Like that's something that he was preaching for a long time, and just find out that he's not doing it. I'm like, okay. I mean, again, me as a human being, I understand we can change our mind whenever we want. Dan could have just been tired of the 9, 10, 11 years that he was there and was like, yo, like I don't know where we going. Dame did say he didn't want to be a part of a rebuild, but the Portland Trailblazers are clearly rebuilding at this point. So, well, I understand Dame leaving, of course, absolutely. But on the other side of it, again, you were preaching loyalty this entire time. So I understand both sides of the argument. Like, I understand where one side's coming from, why they call Dame a hypocrite, but at the same breath, I mean, he's human. Like realistically, he gave that Portland Trailblazers squad a decade plus.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's a fact. You there, bees.
Yeah, he got to. Yeah, I agree. He got to eat some of the words he said, bro. Because like he said,
Yeah, I mean, he did say that. I mean, yeah, but I mean, hey, but he also said that if he gave the Portland Trailblazers an opportunity, if y'all not trying to compete or y'all trying to rebuild, which one y'all trying to do? I'm not trying to rebuild. I'm trying to compete. And
Mm-hmm.
clearly, the Portland's trying to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Get me out of here. So I mean, I don't think it's. I mean, y'all keep that in that like button too. Y'all keep in that like button. Share all that good stuff, man, on this video. Um, Mavericks need to try
But
to sign. They're not signing Christian Wood back, bro. The Mavericks, they're not signing Christian Wood back.
Nah, they got
Nah.
a big already. They signed
Mavs are
Dwight Powell.
championship contenders. Mavs are championship contenders too. Yeah, they got Matisse Thybulle. They got Grant Williams. They had
They still got
yeah, the
Kleber.
Mavericks.
They still got Josh Green.
What up, BJ?
If this man Matisse Thybulle, if he can just get like a little bit of a jump shot, I'm telling you right now that team
His
is going to
jumper
be
was
nasty.
looking a little bit better. His jumper was looking a little bit better.
It's looking, it's looking a little crispy. It's looking a little crispy, but you know,
Who's jumper?
that bacon's still tender.
Matisse Thybulle.
They got the Mavericks got him now. So
He
that's
just he just needs to
Pure
shoot.
defense.
I ain't gonna lie.
They got
Mavericks-
There's no.
Hold on, they got
Listen,
Thybulle
B-
and
B-
Grant
B-
Williams.
Yeah, and they still got Kleber
Yes.
and Josh
Bees.
Green.
They
Grant
looking
Williams shooting 45% from the
hold
three
you.
in the playoffs.
They look bees. They looking dangerous. Bees.
No, I got it. I got
45%
it.
from three is
Now,
crazy.
now, what the Lakers need to do is they need to trade that baby back bitch to Portland for Dame. That's what they
Hey,
do.
yo, man, you like his arch
Stop it.
enemy, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
Chris.
that's-
Chris, when did you get the information that Dame only requested to get traded to one team?
Literally, I heard it on Player's Choice. I literally heard them go.
Okay,
back and
so
forth.
if-
Nah, don't listen to
If
them.
players' choice, if your point of reference, the only person who's reported credibly on Dame is Chris Haynes, and this is over the last 5 years. Anything else is more than likely fake news. No, he has not said what he said. Preferred destination would be the Heat, which 90% of the league wants to play in Miami. So that don't surprise nobody because it's Miami.
90%.
But yes, it's Miami. That's the what? Have you been to
I'm
Miami?
still waiting. I live in Florida. What you mean? I
Hey,
live in
so
Florida.
what-
So what you talking about?
Shut
I'm-
up.
So what I'm
listen,
saying,
listen,
East side.
I'm just talking. Yo, it's crazy. But no, I'm talking about with Miami right now. I'm talking about like if they wanted to sign somebody, they could have got someone. But they haven't gotten anybody yet. Now free agency still intact right now, but I don't know who's going there as a free agent.
Hey, he only going to two places, bro.
Miami or Philly?
He's going to Miami or Boston.
I don't think Boston's in play.
Listen, bro.
Tatum
They
wants him.
trying to do something. Listen, hey,
Tatum wants him.
they-
That's for sure.
They actually
Trying
got
to
the
do
best package, bro.
They
They
trying to do
Boston
something.
could make it. I mean, where are you going to send Tyler Hero, Lamont? Like I said, if you're Miami, where are you sending Tyler Hero? Who wants him?
I don't know,
He said preferred destination though. What up, Big Tone? But he did. If you go back to Chris Haynes' report, he did say preferably he wants to be in Miami. But and let's be honest though, Dame don't have control where he want to go necessarily, right?
He
But
doesn't.
he's not gonna be mad. He
does.
won't be mad.
No,
he do. No, I do. No,
no,
he do. But I'm not saying. I'm not saying
Not true.
like
He does have control. Where
he does. Like
Does he have no trade clause?
I understand that, but I'm saying like, of course he's not gonna get traded. You know, like Timberwolves, right? I'm not
he
saying
don't need
anybody
no
for play.
clause.
I'm not saying he's gonna play for anybody besides the two teams you named, right? But I'm saying he's not gonna be upset if because he said he preferred to be in Miami, but let's say he goes to Miami or Lamont say maybe the Sixers. He's not gonna be upset. He's still gonna play. You know what I mean? So
No, that's what you say.
Hey, this is what I don't want to see. This is going to be the fucking when Damian Lillard next year cooks the entire league. I don't want to see nobody jumping on his bandwagon, acting like some brand new fans of his new team, because that's what's going to happen. I want y'all to remember that he's a team switcher. He's running from the grind. I want you to remember that because this all y'all doing is giving that man ammunition to cook all y'all favorite teams and players. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. I hope y'all remember that.
Hey, and I got him as a favorite if Dame goes to Miami.
They're not better than the Suns, bro.
Yeah, I said
But
I'm talking
They're a
about
better team, though. They're a better team.
They're not a better team, bro.
They're not bad.
No, they don't have more talent than the Suns, but they will be a better team. That's a different statement. They will be a better team. Eric Spoelstra-led team is always a better team than most teams. This is why they got to the finals in the 8th seed.
man,
the
this man said
Suns
the Lakers
gonna
went to
have
the finals.
I think they may have a rebounding problem, bro.
Wait, why? Because they have Aiden.
That's one person.
It's one dude.
But they have length though with Aiden and KD in the middle.
Their guys not rebounds like that, bro. They don't got
we
rebounds
gonna
like
have to
that.
wait and see
The
how.
Suns need a guy like
Thomas
PJ
Bryant.
Tucker.
No, but
Wait,
you
hold
Thomas
on.
Bryant to play
Type.
35, 40
Wait, so
minutes
hold
tonight
on. Wait, hold on. You said the Suns might have a rebounding power. What about Miami? Miami is a small team.
Would you go
But
play
they
Thomas
rebound
Bryant?
well.
Bro.
They rebound well,
See,
But they got bullied on the
bro.
glass in
You
the
gonna let
finals.
me
They got
ask, bro?
my fault.
Miami's Miami's gonna be a better rebounding team than Phoenix. They're built differently. You don't. Phoenix right now. Who's doing the little things on that team, bro?
They might most likely be Aiden. He's in the
think
middle.
he can do everything that team needs, all the little work that needs to happen? You think he's going to be able to do it all? Rebound, defend, do all the little things, all the grimy stuff that needs to take place on that team. You think he's going to do it all?
He just need a rebound for them.
Bro, you're delusional, bro.
Who's the rebounder?
I'm not.
Aiden?
Yeah, he's the best rebounder on the team.
So what happens when a big takes him 12 feet from the paint or 5 feet outside the paint? Who rebounded for them?
It's gonna be a group effort, bro. Just like Miami. When Jokic took Bam from the paint, it was a group effort for Miami.
Yep, and they got destroyed.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, Miami is going to be a better rebounding team than Phoenix. I'm going to have to see. Right now, I don't believe they can rebound the basketball.
Who?
Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Nah, bro, you tripping, bro. They're a long team.
He's right. Rebounding is a mentality thing. It's not about how big and tall you are. You have to be willing to sacrifice a ton of different things to go be good rebounding. To get in the mix, you got to muck it up, right? You gotta understand spacing, where the ball coming off the rim. You know, I mean, Beasley is right. You know, it is a question there.
Lamar,
I would say that's a legitimate question for him.
Hold on. So Lamar, you said rebounding. It doesn't matter about the size. It's a mentality. Where was the mentality for Miami in the finals when they played against a bigger physical team?
No.
Because those guys, it doesn't matter about the size. So
hold on. All of those guys on Denver are all sacrificed. Aaron Gordon, who used to be a number 1, number 2 guy on Orlando, sacrificed and became a muck it up type of guy that's willing to go rebound and do the smaller things and not score. Same with Porter, and the same with Christian Brown. All guys, similar to Miami, just guys with that mentality of whatever.
Your mic, Lamont.
That's a fact.
So that's why I asked you, Ken, who gonna do the little stuff? You think?
Hold on, is it good?
Do it all? Now
all right, so I'm gonna give you 2 to 3 players. Okogie, you got Aiden, you got who's that dude off the bench? You got Yuta Watanabe, you got Diop, the base Diop dude. You got Eric Gordon. You got veteran guys who know how to do the little things to win games, bro.
Eric Gordon?
I thought Watanabe was a shooter. I don't think he's
but Eric Gordon? You gonna give
he's not. He's not gonna give you. Hold on. He's not gonna give you 30 word minutes, but he's gonna give you.
I wouldn't mention him then. I wouldn't mention him.
He gonna give you. Hold on. Can I tell you what he gonna give? He gonna give you defense.
Of course, go ahead.
He gonna give you perimeter D, and he gonna give you 3-point shooting, bro.
Stop it right there.
He gonna give you perimeter D.
Stop it right now.
Yeah.
Stop it right there.
Come on.
Eric Gordon.
Come on, bro.
You gotta chill, bro.
What about
you gotta chill right now?
Yeah.
What about? Hold on. What about Beal? Do y'all think he could be a decent defender, or y'all think he's trash?
He can be decent, but
average at
he's
best.
gotten worse.
Average at best.
He's gotten worse these last 2 years.
I'm being generous.
And then what about Book? What about Book? Y'all think Book is trash?
Book is good. Book is good.
Book can be respectable at times.
Average at best.
You have 2 good defenders in KD and Booker. An average defender.
KD not a defender no more. I'm sorry.
I said KD. Listen,
he's a good. No. Hold on. Because KD.
It's OG and Ayton. That's it. The rest
I
of
just
them average or below average.
He's not below average.
KD's not below average.
No. To the King, I agree with you. They should have kept Torrey Craig. That was crazy.
But hold on, but KD's not below average. He's average.
Yeah, he's not below average. No, he's not.
He's a great rim protector. He's a great help side defender.
He's average.
No, don't
He's
rim protector.
average.
No, he's not a great rim protector now.
No, I said no.
He can.
Listen, no.
He can.
I didn't say no.
We haven't seen this.
I didn't say no. I didn't say no. I didn't say. I meant help side, like help side defender.
Look, I get what you're saying though. But
Yeah,
he ain't been that same person since the Warriors.
I watched Tatum put a 50
No, but you're not gonna call KD a below average
He's
defender now.
average to below average. He's never
I'm calling him below average at this stage.
Yo, y'all hating on KD, bro.
KD is better than Giannis on the perimeter. You know this.
Hold up,
He's
bro.
better than Giannis
Stop,
on the
bro.
perimeter.
He's better than Giannis, bro.
Let me.
Oh my
let me
God.
look.
Oh, go ahead.
KD has never been looked at as a great defender. He's been average or
I never said he was great.
Fuck.
I said he was good. I didn't say great.
You said we said average. Hold on.
Y'all just sat here and said he was a better defender than Giannis, and
He is, bro.
On the perimeter, regardless.
no, he just said he is. He just said he
on the
is.
perimeter. That's what he just said, bro.
He on the perimeter.
Nah,
Still
bro.
wrong,
I said
You just
on the
said that, bro.
perimeter. Relax. Don't get my words twisted.
Bro.
I said
still wrong,
exactly.
Bro, could you
I mean, it's still incorrect. I mean, historically he is, but not at this stage.
Can I get somebody?
Yo, let Beast talk before you have a heart attack.
Go ahead,
bro.
bro. Go ahead, Beast.
Let him talk before you have a heart attack.
No, bro. What I hate is niggas that just listen to respond. That's why you missed the point. You're just listening to regurgitate something back to me as opposed to listening to what I said. That's a difference. I listened to what you said.
Yo, Beast, you took your medications today, bro?
God damn, let him finish, man.
Let him go. Just let him go.
Nah, bro. That's why this nigga set up here. You look like a clown. Talk about your basketball IQ. Talking about Phoenix and what they got. You look like a clown.
I don't. I actually know more basketball than you. I know you're a casual, bro. You're a casual, bro. Phoenix gonna win a championship. Phoenix
not
is
win no
gonna.
damn championship. Phoenix not better than Mavericks. The moves that Mavericks has done, y'all not better than Mavericks, bro.
You know what? Hold on. You know what?
Mavericks got better.
Mavericks.
I
Hold on, but the same issues that we have, the Mavericks got the same issues. They're not a great defensive team. Hold on. Let me finish. They're not a great defensive team.
I'm gonna get this go and respond.
Listen, they're not a great defensive team. They're not a great defensive rebounding team. They're not a great offensive team in terms of like moving the ball and let everybody eat. I feel like Luka and Kyrie, the two ball dominant. I gotta see them work with their teammates and how their teammates get involved in the offense. How Grant Williams and Chase Tybalt and new acquisitions, Steph Curry and guys like that get acclimated into the offense and how they fit in. Like I gotta see how everybody fit in and how everybody figure out their role. Until then, bro, Mavericks still have no defense in my opinion. And I have to see them play defense. I have to see Luka commit to that side of the ball. We know Kyrie doesn't play no defense. So if your two best players are two liabilities that don't play defense and they're going to be playing 40 to 48 minutes come playoff time. And then the two starters on the team.
Book and Bill just locking up, ain't they?
No, they're better. Hold on, bro.
KD just clamps.
Hold on, bro. They're better.
No, Ken, I want to ask you this though.
They're not better. Hold on, Luka and Kyrie are not better defenders than Beal and Booker.
No,
but it's a mid-off. That's what I'm saying.
No, hold up. So you don't even have to go there, Ken. I just want to ask you really quickly. So the formula last year when they had a top-heavy team was let Chris Paul play 40 minutes a night, let Devin Booker play 40 minutes a night, and let KD play 40 minutes a night in the playoffs. How far did they go? Second round loss to the Nuggets. They have literally even worse depth going into this year with worse defense, and you're gonna ask KD, Beal, and KD, Beal, and Booker to outscore teams every night, putting up damn near 100 points a night, and they're averaging 40 minutes a night. They're not gonna make it. They're probably not gonna make it through the regular season if they're playing that many minutes.
Who is creating for others at a high level in that lineup?
And Eastside, and let Matt go. I'm gonna let Eastside go, and then Sean, and then I'm gonna let Ralph go. Hey, talk about your Mavericks, man. Matter of fact, since you brought them up.
Well, no, man. Like you said, I don't want to talk too crazy about it. I'm a fan, but I'm a realist at the same time. We got to see it play out and how Jason Kidd going to incorporate everything. But as far as the pieces go on paper, I mean, I can see Dallas competing with just about anybody just due to the depth. I don't think we'll end up with Thibault. I think Portland will match it. But if you talk about a Grant, adding a Seth Curry, drafting a Derek Lively and OMP, OMP might not be ready for a couple of years, but I can see Lively ending up in the starting lineup toward the end of the year. You still got a young guard in Jaden Hardy to come off the bench. You still got Josh Green. I mean, the Mavericks got everything. You got your 2 stars for the scoring. You got defense around them. I ain't even mentioned Rashard Holmes from Sacramento, which was a steal. So I mean, they got all the defense around them. But to his point, the pieces, you do got to see the pieces get put together properly. I think Kidd can do it, but we just got to see. But yeah, I'll put them right there with anybody. They compete with anybody in the West. For sure.
They not fucking with Phoenix, bro. But all
right, man.
That's your opinion.
All right, man.
That's your opinion.
Oh, wow.
All right.
I mean, what up, Sean?
What up, True? What up, y'all?
How you feel about
Devin Booker still had nightmares about Luka, man.
I want
Nah, nigga. Luka got nightmares about Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
Hold on, Ken.
Yeah, I wanted to hear Bees finish his take because he never really got to finish.
Oh no, that's okay, Sean. You go ahead, bro. I'm good.
Yo, Bees, we good, fam? Come on, bro. Okay,
go ahead,
Sean. No, listen, I like what the Mavs have done, and honestly, Issa, I don't think Portland's going to match that Thibault offer.
You don't think so?
No, only because I think until they resolve this Dame situation and to a certain degree even Nurkic, I don't think they will be giving out any more big contracts. They already got $160 million going to Jeremy Grant, so I don't see them giving out another decent sized contract. Mostly
$1 million too. That's the most he can get too.
Yeah, and that's the most he can get. So to me, I would be shocked if they matched that offer, to be honest with you. But I like what Dallas is doing because, again, Nico in the front office realized, kind of what they need to do is you have to surround Kyrie and Luka with, dirty work guys. There's no championship teams that don't have dirty work guys, y'all. It has never worked that way. It's always 1 or 2 guys on the team that come in that don't care anything. They don't care how many minutes they get. They don't care about their stats. They don't care about the numbers. They come in and literally do everything that nobody else wants to do. And that's it. And that's what Phoenix doesn't have, in my view. I don't think they're a championship contender because also, we don't know what Frank Vogel's going to employ defensive team and those guys are going to buy in. Because the other side of it is, as it's just somebody's point earlier, Beal hadn't played a full season, I think, in 6 years. He hadn't been healthy since he left Golden State. Where's Ayton's head at right now? Like, there's more question marks with Phoenix than a lot of these other teams right now in the West. And the fact is, even against Denver,
my fault.
Against Denver, Booker and KD played some of the best basketball they ever played in their life, and it wasn't enough.
Booker played bad. KD played bad. Booker played amazing. KD played bad.
KD didn't play bad. KD played like a dude in year 17 to still give you buckets, but that's about it.
But KD's an efficient bucket getter. By his standards in that series, that was below his standards.
If you can get 28, but you're giving up 32.
Wait, who's giving up 32?
You missed the point, Ken. I'm not saying in particular. I'm not saying KD in particular. I'm saying in basketball, if you get 28, but you're giving up 32, it doesn't matter. KD's not the impact defender. He has not been that dude since he left Golden State. He's literally a guy who is going into his 17th season, who has not been healthy. He is not that guy anymore. And people got to stop looking at him as that guy. Not that guy anymore.
You finished, bro?
Soldiers are wearing the options. They have some difficult decisions to make. Real talk.
The hate for KD is real today. Damn.
Hey, why it got to be hate? Because
Why
Not
like
hate.
because we
Nah,
don't
it's
think he's a
hate.
perfect basketball
It's
player.
hate. It's hate, bro. It's
Bro,
hate.
this is
My
What
thing
are y'all?
is,
What are y'all,
I
Brown
just
fans or something?
no, it's not. No, it's a Celtics channel.
no. My thing is,
Oh,
listen,
y'all
because
both.
I do agree to some degree.
Y'all
Ken, do
happy
you?
that y'all jumped him. That y'all jumped in 2021. Y'all happy because y'all Boston fans, right? So y'all happy
Nah,
that
No,
y'all.
listen.
we're
Hey,
not
we
all
we
Boston
we
fans.
we reason why we reason why KD actually traded in Brooklyn. That's
I'm a
what we
Magic
did.
fan.
But anyway,
Yeah, because y'all
but
jumped him in
I'm a
2021 in the
Magic
playoffs.
fan.
Y'all
Good
jumped him.
sir.
Y'all triple team him every
yeah,
time he touched the ball. Couldn't guard him one on
we did
one.
not. How did we double? How did we jump them when that was a pick'em series? What are you talking about?
He said they
You,
jumped
you
him.
you know, hold on. You know how, bro.
That's
You
a
had three
pick'em
guys
series,
on him.
bro.
You had three guys on him.
That's
Pushing
a
him around
lie,
was a
bro.
no
How did we
foul
win game
being
one?
called.
Hold on, what happened in game one?
At the
At
end
the
of the
end of the
game,
game.
Steve Nash didn't call
Well,
a timeout, and we had a defensive breakdown, bro. That's
no,
what
that's
happened,
not what
bro.
happened. That's not what
That
happened.
that, that, that is what happened,
Jason
bro.
Tatum was locking KD up like he did the whole series, beginning of game that started game one. He locked KD up, forced KD a tough shot at the 3-point line. Celtics get the rebound. Jason Tatum ends defensive breakdown, what you would say, in Brooklyn. That's what happened. He would get don't get twisted. Like in scheme, the defensive scheme wise, it was help at times, right? When KD got close to the rim, whatever case may be. But let's not get it effed up though. It was plenty of times you've seen Tatum or somebody else by themselves on the perimeter locking his ass up.
Hey, True.
So
I
let me
guess.
ask you
Hold on.
hold on. Let me ask you a question
Okay.
because you just said something. So True, let me ask you a question. Do you think at times they let Boston be more physical in terms of like hand checking, and hand checking is not
Y'all were
allowed, and they
physical
were hit.
too.
Oh
Y'all
my
are physical
But
too,
god.
but
though.
we but hold on, but
Well, what are
we,
we
we,
doing
we
right
were
Ken,
we,
now,
we
man?
were the
stop
hold on,
riding
we were the
KD,
smaller
Ken.
team. We
Stop
were
it,
the
Ken.
smaller team,
Stop it,
bro.
bro.
Bro,
Stop it,
Absolutely.
bro.
Hold on, bro.
This is
this
crazy,
Stop
dude.
it.
Graves,
Come
bro.
on,
Oh, they
bro.
let
Come
both
on,
Yo,
teams.
bro.
the
This is
Listen,
glazing
crazy,
is
you look,
wild
Graves.
though.
hold on. First of all,
Crazy
The
Graves,
glazing
listen,
is
bro.
Ken.
wild though right
Yeah,
now.
because you,
Bro, the
hold on,
glaze, hold on.
Ken.
The glaze for LeBron
You,
be wild, bro. I don't want to
No,
hear
no,
no.
no,
we're
no,
not
no.
talking
Ain't,
about
no,
Nobody
let's
Talk
talk
talking
about
LeBron
about
LeBron
today.
today.
LeBron
bro.
right now,
Hold
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
bro.
hold
What
on.
we
That's
Ken,
his
Ken?
favorite
You
player.
want me to
That's his favorite
glaze?
player.
You want
LeBron
me to
is
glaze
favorite
him?
player.
But hold on,
Stop
hold
it,
up.
Ken.
The
Ken.
point is but hold up. The point is this though. The reality situation. If you look at Boston, that whole playoff series. First of all, they let every series that Boston played was physical on both sides. They were allowing Brooklyn to do that same thing too. Bruce Brown and all those guys. Like it's not like I mean, let's not
Now,
act like
hey, so True. This is what I don't understand, and maybe somebody in the room can help me. Uh, Kitty's never been looked at as a good defender in the NBA. He got a lot of credit for his help side defense when he was in Golden State. So people started to say KD play defense now. But he was on a defensive minded team and he was really a good he
Mm-hmm.
fit in, was a decent team defender in Golden
Yep.
State. But this KD's defensive stuff, I ain't never seen it in his whole career. So I don't
Mm.
know where all this stuff comes from.
Mm.
I'm just as
That's a
confused.
good point, Beast. That's a good point. That's a
I'm
good point.
just as
That's why
confused.
Ken is quiet right now because there ain't no reply to that, Beast, because that's 100% facts. That's why.
No, it's not facts,
hold on,
nigga.
y'all have a
That
quick
is
hold on.
facts.
On the
Hold on,
wet
hold on,
team,
hold
was a
on,
good
hold on,
team
hold on. I
defender
put
and a
hold
good
on. You
perimeter
could hold on.
defender.
Yo, True the King. You can even search this up. KD was one of the best defensive field goal. Like he held his opponents to like low field goal percentage in that 2017 year with the Warriors.
What?
But they
Cause
say
he
he's not
just
a good
coming over
defender.
help side.
What?
He
Help
cleaning
No,
up.
side
one,
defense with
no.
elite
Bro, what do you,
defenders.
bro?
He
Hold
said
on,
for the
hold on,
Warriors.
hold on.
No, I'm talking about as a
Esau.
net.
What are you talking about? That's 1-on-1.
Man,
Field
fuck
goal percentage
20,
is
That's
fuck
1-on-1.
1-on-1.
2017. Fuck 2017. What
Well,
about
y'all go nuts with this
2023?
shit. Like
What about
I'm
Hey,
just telling
2023,
you,
man?
I mean,
bro.
he
Hey,
ain't bad.
2017?
Just
Ken,
like
But
how
where was
Boston
that
jumped
defense
KD,
on
y'all niggas
Brooklyn
jumped
One
though,
him.
at a
Ken?
time, one
Where
at a
was that
time, one at
defense
a
you're talking
time.
about
One
on
mic.
the Brooklyn Nets though? Why you couldn't replicate that same field goal percentage you're talking about on the Brooklyn Nets? What happened?
What you
No
mean?
Draymond, I
Ken,
guess, right? No
What you
Draymond, no
mean?
Iguodala.
he never made an
Huh?
all defensive team in his career, Ken.
What? Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
because
Ken's
he's
real
an
quiet because
underrated defender. He's an
damn
underrated
underrated.
defender.
Brooklyn.
That's why.
Anywhere else.
Stop
Anywhere
it.
else.
Stop it.
Man, your boy KD a hoe. You got face to
So
face.
hold on. So y'all, let me ask y'all a question. Y'all still expecting to have that same level of defense after coming off one of the most devastating injuries and Achilles
No,
injury
you
ever?
Man,
are. You
But that's what
literally
you're
are.
saying. That's the point. But that's the point. Why are you trying to
it's
do
too
that?
much medicine
No,
anyway. The
I
Achilles ain't the same how it was in the early
come
2000s,
on,
in the
Herm.
90s, and the
Come on,
80s.
Herm. Stop
There's
it,
too
bro.
much medicine out there now, man. Come
Herm, you're
on
not
here,
gonna
this
be the
shit.
No,
same level of defender after
that's
coming off
besides
a.
the
It
point
don't
though.
matter.
You
Come
came
on,
up here
bro.
saying that's why Phoenix would be a contender. When they
No,
argued
the
against you and complained
contender.
about
He
their
said
defense.
the contender.
Oh yeah, the contender.
They
You
won the
made that point.
championship though.
Nobody else putting that on KD but you.
Yeah,
Bees
I
Vogel
said,
Vogel won't give a KD a pass on defense, bro. We seen bro every vocal team was not great defensively that he coached.
Yeah.
Like
what?
What?
The
That's true.
contenders. Hold on, the contenders he coached was a top 10 defense, bro.
he got fired for the Lakers for Rick. Come on, all right, bro.
Because hold on, you know why? Hold on, you know why? He was the scapegoat, bro. Because he
He
didn't have the
did
Two
have
things could
defense.
Wayne
be
Ellen.
true.
He
Hold
did
Two
have
on,
things
niggas
could
like
be true.
hold
He did
on.
have niggas like Wayne Ellington on his roster though.
That's
That
what I'm
shit.
saying. Come on,
He
true.
came and D me and you up,
True.
true.
You
We could
can't
score
lie.
40
But
on
but
Wayne
Herm,
Ellington.
hold on, y'all. But Herm though, he got Wayne Ellens on his team now. You got dudes that don't defend like that. You
Exactly.
got two
Exactly.
dudes. You
Exactly.
got two dudes that play defense. You got Aiton and Koji.
Bro, but
Urbanks
they
play
were
So
decent. All right, defense. Urbanks
this
all
the
right on
question. This the
defense.
question. True. This the
but hold
question.
on, they were
B,
still a top.
Let me ask Bees a question because he a basketball historian. Let me ask Bees. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen a coach in
ask the
NBA
old
history
head.
right, not have the defensive personnel to play elite defense, but he turned that team into an elite defensive team? Have you ever seen that happen?
There's been some not. I mean, there's been teams that play good defense. I wouldn't say
Mm,
elite. It's really
mm-hmm,
hard to turn non-defensive players into elite defense.
mm,
I don't know if you can do that.
mm,
I think you can only scheme so much, right?
Mhm.
There's got to be guys on your team that say this is what we do, and that's it. It's defense as much as it's scheme. It's mentality, just like rebounding. It's a mentality. That's why when I hear guys say, "Oh man, he can never be a good defender," if he changes the mentality, he could be.
He gives. I
Exactly.
didn't say every team. I said he didn't do that for every team. We know Frank Vogel can coach defense. I'm saying he didn't do that for every team. And every season he coached.
I guess my question, my
George, we're not talking about LeBron, bro. Stop all that gobbling, man.
hey, and some
Appreciate you for tuning in, man.
anybody can answer this question. If Aiton was upset with his role last year,
mm.
but adding Bradley Beal to the team means he's going to have even more of a reduced offensive role. How are they going to get this guy to give
The
them?
buy-in.
Yeah, how's they going to get this dude
Bro,
to buy in?
bro,
Well,
he
I can answer.
yeah.
I can answer it, but it all depends how they handle it. But they could kind of do what the Bulls, the first three P Bulls did with Bill Cartwright. They could kind of move like that with it.
Soon as
But
they
shit,
hear
I
that,
doubt it. I doubt it.
hey
I
her,
doubt
hey
it though.
her, hey her. Soon
The
as you hear that,
the
hey, remember
problem
Bill Cartwright?
No, but they not
That's what I
no.
was
But
about
what
to
I'm
ask.
saying,
You
Turning
think Aiden
DeAndre
no,
can
Ayton
no,
move
into.
with
I'm
Bill?
being
Now
funny.
you're
I'm
talking
being
about
funny.
early touches early in the game,
yeah,
Herm.
Wait, but
early
hold
touches
on.
early in the game. No,
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, but hold on, Ken. But also, here's the thing. I think DeAndre Ayton's beef was with Chris Paul, but Chris Paul did basically blame him for the Milwaukee Bucks series and did try to throw him under the bus. So I think his issue was more with Chris Paul than just his role with the Suns. But Chris Paul being gone, you somewhat got to be optimistic of what he do this season. So I'm gonna give him a benefit of the doubt, give him a clean slate. We gonna see what he gonna do. But Chris Paul is an asshole. So I mean, that could
I
somewhat make you
mean,
say fuck the whole team when you're dealing with an asshole like Chris Paul.
Chris Paul
and
could be
Monty
all that,
Williams is
but
a
he
dumbass.
go he more likely to get Aiden the ball than anybody they got now.
Monty Williams a dumbass because he ruined his confidence from first of all in the 2021 finals when he played him 1-on-1 against Giannis. You ruined that guy's confidence because Giannis dominated him by
Yeah.
dropping 50 on him. And then in the
what?
following year, you ruined his
No, it
confidence
wasn't
again
Giannis.
by hold on. You ruined his confidence again by benching him when the team was getting
Hey,
blown out.
Ken, what are you meant to do
No, that was
when
Luca
when
taking
you're
that
coming up
confidence.
against a team that can beat you on the perimeter, right? And Giannis obviously is a great player, but you play your 7-foot center on Giannis and you tell him to do a job. How is that breaking his confidence, bro? Like, well, what does that even mean?
Because hold on, because Giannis was dominating him. So then, and Giannis was the main factor for Milwaukee winning, right? So then all the blame is going to most likely be on Aiden because Aiden was the main primary defender on Giannis.
Okay, so
Nah,
let's use.
I'm
Hold on.
I'm gonna
Let me
be
use. Hold on,
my,
Earl. Let me
my
use your
bad.
logic. I'm gonna use your logic you just put out there. So what you're telling me is KD can't play defense now because Jason Tatum put a 50 ball on his head 2 years ago. Is that what you're telling me?
Bro, why are you
Petty.
talking about KD, bro? We talking about Tatum, bro.
Man. Hey, time out
Bro,
real quick too, y'all.
why does
Time out
KD
real
stay
quick
on
too,
your
y'all.
arm, bro?
Hey,
And
time out real quick
and
too, y'all.
I'm gonna
I
end
got.
it like this. And here comes the stretcher.
Hey, yo. But oh yeah, too, y'all. Listen, we got calm down with the cuss words, whatever. I am now monetized now.
Oh, big
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I
hey.
am
Hey,
monetized now.
salute to you,
True,
True the
I
King.
true,
was
true the money TV. I
listen.
see you,
So
man.
we
I
got
see you.
calm
Damn,
down.
I
You
can't
know what I
curse
mean?
no more. Damn.
Hey, true the
Hey,
money.
Yo, this man Herm.
True the money.
Y'all got
but
lucky.
Yeah,
listen.
that's all you be doing,
So
Herm. That's all you be
so
doing, man. You
listen.
need to chill
I
out, Herm.
appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I said, this was a
Hey, I
last
be
minute
cooking
thing.
too, Africa now.
It's a
Yeah.
last minute thing. I'm getting ready. Mind you, I got like I said, we here for we here for like a couple more hours or less than that. But
True. F your monetization. That's what I say.
No.
yeah, I appreciate everyone coming in because like this was last minute. I was just trying to listen a little bit, getting ready for work. Dog. That's why
Y'all
you see
talked
this.
about the
I mean, I got
debates
on,
being canceled.
huh? Oh,
Talked about the
you can't. You can't listen. Well, if y'all didn't know, it got
What?
postponed, canceled, whatever case may be, right?
Cancel? Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
postponed. Well, it got
Knock
postponed,
on
right?
wood.
I heard postponed. I ain't hear cancel. I heard postponed.
Okay. It is what it is.
You know what I mean?
If it's postponed at this point, it's canceled, bro. Like,
I mean, look, hey, I'm not.
I'm just
Probably
saying,
so.
bro.
Probably so.
Hey,
I
they
mean,
got the
listen.
dub, bro. They got the dub, and they're not doing it anymore. So we're gonna just turn that page and get back
Turn
to
the
these.
page.
So we were arguing on Lamont channel about what superstars is. How many superstars in the league?
The
And
thing,
so I thought,
matter of fact, that's what I forgot about bees. I'm glad you mentioned that. I think everybody has a different definition of that. Now, that being said, though, it ain't no 10 superstars in the NBA. I think that's a consistent thing, right? It is not a bunch of whatever your criteria is, right? There's not a bunch of superstars in the NBA.
Right.
I think it's like maybe
My
like
question is this for y'all. Let me ask Sean. When does a guy, right, who kind of leaves his prime, still playing at a high level, leave his prime, when do you lose superstar status? When do you lose that?
I think at the point when you can no longer be your team's best player and be a competitive championship contender, that's what you've been during your superstar prime. That's my belief. But I also think the term superstar is very subjective, right? Because I think there are situational superstars, and then I think there are universal superstars. I think you could be a situational superstar if you're in a market. For example, I've always thought Reggie Miller was a situational superstar. I never thought he was a universal superstar. He's in Indiana. They don't have much there. He's a situational superstar. And then there's Jordan. Wherever Jordan goes, Jordan's a superstar. But was Jordan a superstar with the Wizards? No.
Was he a superstar in baseball? No.
Well, that's a conversation.
you petty. That's petty.
That was unnecessary.
That was funny,
Was he a
right?
superstar in
That was
Space
funny.
Jam? No.
That was
So
I mean, Space Jam is. I mean, it's Power Rock movies.
I mean, the thing is that he wasn't a superstar in play anymore when he was with the Wizards, but he was still the same draw.
right.
Yeah, you still got to go see Jordan.
Right, yeah.
Does the draw make you a superstar as well? Is that a part of it? The draw
has to be.
Yeah, you were watching.
The main factor, right? You know.
Those
the main factor. I thought the game
Right.
was the main factor.
That means Josh superstar. That's what's up. Hey, but you
That's
got
an echo.
Wait, how is
OG didn't finish? You gotta let the OG finish, man. You respect.
Yeah, let him finish.
So to answer your question, Africa, let's take Ja for example, and this is why the league really don't know what to do with him because he's got the swag, the charisma, and the game to ascend to that throne. Because you look at a guy, let's say, what's the big dude's name in New Orleans? Zion. Zion came in with all the swag, all the fanfare, but the game ain't there. If Zion ever puts the game there with his likability, he gonna take off.
The heart ain't there either.
Hold on, what?
There. The mentality ain't there. And, and anything you want to break down for Zion mental, it's not there.
What?
Bro, let me finish, please.
Wait, but Zion?
He's not even on the
Let him get it off real quick.
Let B finish, man.
So,
and Cam, fix your mic, yo.
All I'm saying, Africa, is that there's a multitude of things that's needed. So if you just say, how many superstars in the NBA? There's 4. There's a lot of fringe superstars.
That's not my mic, bro.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of fringe superstars that are right on the level, but they can't carry the league. They're not headliners. You know what I'm saying? They need they need somebody else. You put Bron and Steph on the court, your ratings are going to be off the chart. You put Bron and Giannis on the court, your ratings off the chart. Bron and KD, the ratings are going to be off the chart.
Well, how much do the outside
I'm done.
So I just want to add.
How much do that factor?
What's that, Ralph?
The commercials, the endorsements, and the visibility.
It's a factor. Because the league's got to be able to sell you. Y'all got to remember that the NBA, with Michael Jordan, actually Magic and Larry, they chose a certain advertising structure. And so the league uses their top cream of the crop player to advertise the league. They don't do the team thing like the NFL. They use players.
How y'all feel about FK? Your feelings?
Is that mic good, bro?
I was gonna ask the question of like, because Kyrie is a big draw. He's very popular. His shoes were popping and selling. He has that popularity, but then you question if his game and his ability to impact the game is at a superstar level. So how would you categorize guys like that?
He's a fringe guy.
Yeah.
Kyrie and Dame are definitely fringe, but what I want to do to capitalize what Bees was saying about the whole, because I think that we can all, as a fringe superstar, unless you're in the game, like how most casuals don't really talk about Dame like that. Like the casuals that talk about the LeBrons, that talk about the Giannis's, the Jokic's, the Steph Curry's of the world. Like the majority of that is casuals, but unless you're like an actual student and understand the game, they're not really talking about Dame like that. They only gonna talk about Dame like that when he decides to move on to a bigger market where he can actually get a lot more games and people can actually see him on more national televised games. Because they're gonna promote the hell out of any Miami Heat team that comes out of there. But my thing is, I don't really see this as like a super like a top tier super team, if y'all really want to call it that, because realistically people are acting like this is like LeBron at 25 and D Wade at 28 teaming up in their primes with a Bosh. No, Damian is 32 years old, Jimmy's 35 going on 36, and again, if you really want to put that much stock in Bam over Bosh, okay, cool. But Damian, but what's it called? D Wade and LeBron, 2 of the top 3 players easily on the planet.
Bam is not better than Bosh either, bro. Like
exactly.
That's what I was about to say.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on.
So compare to a super team like that, compared to what these guys are going to be, I just don't think it's on that level. In fact, I don't think it's a top tier. I don't think it's a top 5 super team all time.
Well, I mean, again, the current super team is garbage anyway, so I think we shouldn't use that. You can have a team where, listen, you got 3 all-stars. If Dame goes to Miami, they have a team with 3 all-stars.
They do.
So is it a super team? Again, stupid term, hate it. It's a TV term. It's a narrative term. It doesn't mean anything.
It shit don't. It really is don't.
So it's more of a big 3, like Boston.
Right. So like,
I mean, you can.
It's a big. I don't really feel like it's a big. Like when I think of big 3, I'm thinking like the best of the best. Now,
What do you mean?
Jimmy
That's a
is
big
definitely-
three, bro.
Listen, Jimmy's one of the best
That's
defenders.
a big three,
Bam one
bro.
of the best defenders, and Dame's one of the best scorers.
I mean,
in the
Jimmy
league.
one
That's
of
a big three,
Jimmy
bro.
one of the best wings
No.
in the game. Dame
No,
one of the
I'm
best
just talking
point
about,
guards
like,
game,
two.
and Bam one of the best bigs.
See,
in the game.
I
So
think
that's
people just use
Right.
that word super team because it's easy now to criticize somebody when they don't win.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just easy
I
to
just don't think
say.
it's on that level. That's
Facts,
that's,
like
that's,
KD.
that's all I'm
But
basically
we're not
saying.
comparing the level.
But what people
they
what
produce.
people what people don't understand about this Dame situation going to Miami, they could win a chip and they still wouldn't be a super team, but they would be a good team, a great team. See, they
I
could
agree
be
with that.
they could be a great team. All the
I agree.
pieces could fit and you could win, but that don't make you a super team just because 3 of the dudes have been all-stars.
I agree with that.
Right. Notice the term super team has literally replaced dynasty.
That's a
Because
fact.
there's no long-term dynasties anymore. Did anybody ever call the Spurs a super team?
Yo,
Nah.
They call them a dynasty, really.
Dynasty.
You got two great all-time great international players, and you got what's
They
the
call
name?
it.
You're right.
They call the
That's-
Warriors.
that's
They call the
super
Warriors a
league.
dynasty, don't they? They call the Warriors
The
a
War-
dynasty.
They do now. They do now.
6 finals in 8 years. Yeah, they call them
And
now.
they won back to back. The Spurs never won back to back.
Yeah, but
Well,
Spurs.
they still a dynasty though. Stop
But they
it.
I
always
don't think a
competed.
back-to-back
They're
qualifies
still
a
a
dynasty,
dynasty,
though.
bro. Stop it,
Right.
man.
If the
They
same
always
group
was
of
in
players are winning
contention for the
chips,
championship.
yeah, it's definitely a dynasty.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Western
That's super
Conference
team.
Finals they went
So
to.
hold on, what's your definition of a dynasty then, bro?
3 or more championships in a certain time span.
Right.
Of course.
So you wouldn't consider the Heat a dynasty at all?
So hold on, so I wouldn't consider back-to-back
What?
championships a dynasty.
No, I didn't say that. I say 3 or more. I
3 or
said
more.
But I'm talking about like and like what's
Okay,
the
so
order?
Kobe
Like,
Shaq was a dynasty. Okay.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
for
but
example,
Kobe
of course it
Shaq
got to be
was
in a
a
certain.
dynasty, the
Of
Spurs
course
were
it got to be.
dynasty.
Of course it got to be in a certain time span. Like, I mean, listen, like the Spurs. The Spurs are a dynasty. That core with Tim Duncan, Popovich, whatever. They had 5 championships. That's a dynasty.
And they always was competing for a championship
They
too.
was always competing for a championship.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a dynasty.
They
So
made
years
the
do matter,
playoffs every year. Tim Duncan was in the league. They made the
Yeah,
playoffs.
right. Competing
Not one season was under 50 wins. Every year they had a 50-win season.
Competing and contending for titles. The Bulls, of course, in the 90s is a dynasty.
The Lakers.
You got the Lakers,
Yeah, the
the
Lakers
Celtics,
easily.
and Celtics in the
You got
80s,
the
a dynasty.
Lakers. You got the Lakers.
Showtime, Kobe, Shaq.
Yeah,
You
that's a
got the
dynasty.
Spurs.
Did y'all
and then
consider
the Warriors.
Chicago.
Did y'all consider the Pistons?
And that's it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Since 2000, you only have 3 dynasties. The Lakers.
You
Oh,
could
since
you could
2000.
consider the Pistons though.
So from 87
They're
to
not
91.
dynasty.
I said
Pistons-
since 2000,
This
That's
is
a
not
we
2000.
have
dynasty.
3.
Pistons
Yes,
only had
2000.
2 championships.
Right.
But they
Yeah,
always
if
was
we make the
competing for
Pistons
one
a
though.
dynasty, we got to add a bunch of teams to the list if we put the Pistons in there.
Like, 'cause nobody in the 70s is a dynasty then, because
Right, there's no
70s is a dynasty.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the 70s don't got nothing for that.
So,
They got back to
I think Sean made a good point there.
Yeah.
Sturdy said, "What up, Sturdy? A dynasty is 3 chiefs within a 5-year window."
Wait a minute, y'all
5-year
kept
window.
the Pistons went back
That's
to
a
back.
small window.
The Pistons went back to back though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Miami did too, but I wouldn't call Miami a dynasty.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call
I
it
don't
a
call.
dynasty.
I don't call Miami a dynasty.
And again,
I don't
a
know.
part of it
Man,
is.
the Heatles was the
I'm sorry.
coldest era. Oh my bad. Go ahead, Sean.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say the Heatles was the man. I don't care what y'all say, man. LeBron set foot in Miami. That was the coldest era of the 2010s. The Spurs.
Hey man, if these panels was around back then,
Yeah.
You stop trolling, Lou. Stop trolling.
Wait, but hold on.
No,
But
he's not trolling.
did the Spurs ever go back to back finals? And they have.
But I'm just saying, if you
The
start
Spurs
doing,
never went back to back. The Spurs never went back to back.
The Spurs did go to back-to-back finals, but they never
Yes.
won back-to-back.
They just
one
lost.
back
Yeah.
then.
Oh, I mean, that's what I meant. I meant to say they never won. My fault.
but
Hey,
I
Ken,
mean, a
you trying to sit
dynasty-
here and claim the Spurs are not a dynasty, bro? Is that what you're trying to do right now, bro?
Who, me?
No, I can't.
I'm trying to figure out y'all definition of a dynasty.
no, but dynasty
No.
is a three.
No.
championship
Let me
in 5 years span.
Yeah,
That's a
let me
dynasty.
ask you though, Ken. Do you think the Spurs are a dynasty? The Tim Duncan Spurs, were they a dynasty, Ken?
Do I consider them a dynasty?
Yeah.
Hey, thank
No.
you, Will. Niggas.
No,
Huh?
I don't.
No.
How come?
You gotta get time out with that.
Yeah, but I don't know. They won in 2003, 2005, and 2007. That's a 5-year span.
You got like a 60
That's a dynasty.
That's a 4-year span. Actually, they won 3
Are you
years.
serious? Are you serious, bro?
Hey,
Like,
no,
that's
bro.
Can I tell you why now?
Hold on. That dude called
Can
me
I
a
tell you
cat,
why?
bro.
They won
Can I
3
tell you
titles
why?
in 4
Yo,
years,
hold
bro.
on, bees with the medication.
I'm curious on why you say that. Like that's
Yeah, you sound
All
funny, nigga. You are a retard, nigga.
B,
Hold on, nigga.
he
Hold
monetized
on,
now. We
nigga.
can't use all words.
Hold on. I'm not gonna cuss.
With the R, my man trying to stay monetized.
True. That's true to monetize.
Hey,
True to monetize.
That was nasty. My man trying to stay monetized.
Hold on.
True, my bad. Allow me to retort. Riri, nigga. You a Riri.
Yeah, and you ain't taking medication today.
But no, I want to hear why you think the Spurs are not a
why?
dynasty. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
In my opinion, I feel like a dynasty is back-to-back finals wins and at least 4 appearances. And the Spurs, they went to back-to-back, but they never won
This nigga got a
2
Miami
finals.
Heat definition.
Two. No, hold on, bro.
By that logic,
Two
then
of
sure.
finals
If you want to
in
go
a
off
row.
that logic, but
So Ken.
just know nobody is going to believe in you. No one is going to.
No, but Ken.
So
Just like B said, Ken.
No.
Is the Miami Heat a dynasty, Ken? Back to back, they went to 4 titles in 4 years in a row. They won back to back. They won 2 out of 4. Is that a dynasty? That's a dynasty.
Yep. They're a dynasty.
We can move on.
He said, "Yeah, hold on." We can move on because that
Hold on.
But they went to at least 4
That don't
finals,
make,
bro.
but that don't
That's
make
not
no
a
sense. You're
dynasty.
not gonna say Miami he a dynasty, but not say the Spurs not a dynasty.
But the Spurs are not a dynasty.
But the Spurs never won back to back though.
True, the King. No one.
The Spurs. I have a point. I have a point.
It's just Ken.
I have a point. The Spurs never won back to back.
We can't.
But if you don't win back to back,
Wait, hold up. Let me ask him. So Ken. So are the Pistons the team that won in 89 and 90? Are they considered to be what's it called? A super dynasty.
A dynasty of a short run dynasty. Yes, those exist.
Bro, y'all asking me questions I can't answer, bro. I can't answer that question, bro.
So Ken, let me ask
you. What you mean you can't answer it? What you mean you can't answer it?
I can't answer that. What you mean? Why? I wasn't born at that time, bro.
No, it just fits your definition. That's all, bro. Like,
no, bro, I wasn't. No. Nah, y'all think they're about to cook me. I wasn't born at that time, so I can't.
I can't speak on that, bro. You sound like my guy Mad Max.
I mean,
that's a nice finesse, man. That's a nice finesse, man.
I wasn't born at that time, so you can't talk about anything post 1999.
Yeah.
I can't talk about anything before my time, bro. I just listen to y'all cook on things before my time, bro.
All right, well then.
I was about to say, how you speaking on the Spurs?
I didn't do that.
Yeah, facts. You in a conversation and you know what you're talking about. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just think again the reason why we use super team now is because the dynasties that once were are no longer because player movement has changed that. We don't see these teams stay together very long. The Heat are a great example of that because to Lou's point, when they got together, I know personally, I thought this team gonna be together for 10 years. Like I thought this gonna be a 10-year run. And then, LeBron decided to go back to Cleveland, for, his obvious reasons or whatever. So it became a very short run. Is it a short-lived dynasty? I don't know if I would define it as that. It was a fun run for 4 years. Granted, and obviously you're in the finals all 4 of those years and you win 2 championships, but I don't know if I would define it as a short run dynasty. I think that applies more to the Pistons that won back to back than it does that Heat team. But even then, I'd be hard pressed to use the term dynasty when I'm talking about those Pistons.
Yeah, and I wanted to say this real quick to you, everybody on the panel. The 3 rings, that's arbitrary. Like Why is it got to be 3? Why it can't be 4? Why it can't be
3 or
what Bill
more.
Russell?
Three or more.
I think he said,
Yeah,
I think he said
but
3
I'm
or
just
more
saying
in a
though, that's
5-year
not.
span.
Anything could be a. I mean, it could be a short run down. If you go back to back, you a dynasty. I mean, nobody.
I mean,
I see.
Well,
I see what it means.
If that's your logic, then cool. But that means again, if you
I mean,
just
but
think back to back,
anything outside of that is, I mean, if you say it's 3 minimum rings, that's arbitrary. Why not 4? Why not 5? Why not 6?
I mean,
Why
I'm
not
not
7?
a 4-year
Why
run, but
not
a
8?
4-year run.
Let's go to
but a
11. Let's
4
go Bill Russell. Bill Russell, the only dynasty. Like we can just do this arbitrary thing all day.
I think what it does, Lou, is when you're looking at decades of basketball, if you're able to win 3 or more chips in a 5-year span, you've pretty much you pretty much control that decade of basketball.
Right.
And that's how it's looked at. So yeah, you could go back to back in 2001, 2002, and then not be relevant for the rest of the decade. But if you look at the Lakers, you see how they booked into the 2000s. They won in 2000, 2001, 2002, and then had booked in the end of that decade. So there was 5 chips in that 10 years period.
Right, but when it comes to the Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas Pistons, they went to 3 finals. They lost the first time they went, and then also, I mean, they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to Jordan, who would go on to be the NBA champion.
Well,
no,
they lost.
And they got a 30 for 30. I mean, it's
you're right. They lost to the Lakers when they got robbed, and then they came back and won 2. They should have 3-peated in a row. They should have 3-peated. They got robbed out of that first one, I can admit it. But they still weren't the team of the 80s.
I kind of see what Lou's saying.
That distinction goes to
the
Lakers and the Celtics. Those are the 2 dynasties of that 80s.
Well, I mean, if you say those are
Bees, I actually agree with you.
Because here's my point, right? I mean, I agree with that. If you say the Boston Celtics and the Lakers, Magic, whatever, Kobe, if you have them ranked higher than the Pistons, that's cool. But you can't. I just don't think we can say they're not a dynasty. That's all I'm saying.
The question is, Lou, because I think the problem with the Pistons is they won their titles, even though they won back-to-back in 2 different decades, because they won in 89 and 90.
Yeah, but come on.
So let me ask him this then. Let me ask you this then. So what about the Hakeem Olajuwon Rockets in 94 and 95?
Nobody looks at that as a dynasty.
No.
That's
especially when the actual dynasty, the guy retired, and that's why you won. Like it's kind of weird.
That's not why they won, but that's another conversation.
So
okay, that's fair.
I never considered them a dynasty.
I see what Lou's trying to say, right? Because Sturdy put the definition, or his personal definition of 3 wins in 5 years, right? What if you're a team that wins 3 in 6 years? You disqualified? I don't think so. I think it's context, and you apply it to the era itself. If you're the only team that won multiple championships and everyone else is getting singular championships, you could still be called a dynasty if you win 3 in 6 years. I think that's
so. What about this, Sean and Bees? Like the Gasol and Kobe Lakers, right? They went to 3 chips but won 2 in a 3-year span, and after that it was downhill. Like no conference finals, none of that.
Right.
Can't you consider that a dynasty? Short run?
Yeah, that's a dynasty, bro.
I mean,
no, it's not.
No, that's not a dynasty.
No.
Because just like the Pistons, they, like I said, they book in the 2000s with that 2009 championship, which gave them 4. That 2010 championship is in a different decade.
No, I'm talking about them 2 guys in particular.
That's how it's looked at in basketball, though.
Hold on, man. Y'all doing mathematical semantics.
No, that's how it's looked
at. 2009 and you win in 2010. That's a demoted. That don't even make sense.
The reason
why consecutive.
The reason why people do that, Lou, is because people generally talk about these teams as dynasties. They say the 80s Lakers. They say the 90s Bulls. So when you win in 2 different decades, even if it's back to back, what decade are we tying you to if we're calling you a quote unquote dynasty? That's why people do that. It's not. I don't think it's semantics. I just think it's because of how people tend to frame these all-time great teams. They always throw the decade they played the majority of their time in right before you say the team.
And that's why you'll hear people say Tim Duncan won a chip in 3 decades.
Right.
Because he gets credit for that 99 championship as in the 90s decade.
But that's just marketing. I mean, that's just marketing. That's what they do.
It's marketing.
That's how
that's a
it's
look.
looked. When they come up with the all-decade team, that's the time frame they pick the players.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say to answer because I want to answer Ralph's question. I wouldn't compare that Kobe Gasol Lakers team to that Pistons team, Isaiah Pistons team, because that Isaiah Pistons team went to 5 straight conference finals. They lost to the Celtics in '87, and they lost to the Bulls in '91, and then they were in 3 back-to-back finals. What did the Lakers do on the back end of those 3 finals runs and the front end of those finals runs? They lost to Phoenix.
That's why I said was it a short-lived dynasty?
Yeah, so I wouldn't compare it. I wouldn't call it a dynasty. I wouldn't call it a short-lived dynasty because, again, their run was only 3 years where they were truly competitive for championships like that. Now, if they had gone to multiple conference finals or like 5 straight conference finals, that we having a different conversation.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was just opposing that question.
Yeah, salute everybody. But not, like what B said is right. This is our second time on this channel having this type of conversation. Every sports site we try to look up for the dynasty, it was the common definition was 3 championships with a 5-year window.
No, Sturdy, them be them blogs you write for, Sturdy. That's why.
Wait, hold on, bro.
No, Lou, I get it. No, Lou, that's a funny joke, but like that's just what it is. Like for the reasons B's exactly said it. It's
You write
because
for blogs, Sturdy? I didn't know you write for blogs.
Yeah, Sturdy got like
But no.
6 blogs.
But like, everything Beach was saying was correct. It's how even now when you go back, you always break it down through decades. We do it for football, we do it for baseball, we do it for every major sport. So when you're a dynasty, when you dominate at least half a decade, that makes you a dynasty. Well,
Sirens sound crazy, Sturdy. The New York Sirens.
And bro,
get up out of there. Get up out of there quick.
Get up out of there.
Yo, and to the guy who just said that, what's your definition of dominating, bro?
What you mean? Are we really going through this definition of domination?
Nah, but you know what's interesting, bro?
Everybody has a different definition, bro.
Not true. This is our 3rd time actually having this conversation. We had it on U3. We had it on your channel.
No, he said domination though. Like, come on, bro.
Like every team that won has some form of dominance. Like you don't win if you don't have some form of dominance. You don't just fall into a championship.
But to me personally, like dynasty, it's not just dominance or obviously a dynasty, but it's about the duration and the time frame, right? Like for example, you look at the Tim Duncan Spurs, right? They win in '99, right? Then they don't win until 03. After 03, 2 rings, you're not calling them a dynasty. Even when they win in 05, now they got 3 rings in like 6-year span, right? You're probably still not calling them a dynasty. They went back to back. They're a great team right at that point. Then they win in 07, right? And now you call them a dynasty. And in between those years, this is what a dynasty does. They don't just win championships. They're literally contenders for like 6-7 years straight, probably. If they don't make the finals, they're only losing to the team that goes to the finals, like the Spurs. They lost to Dallas, who went to the finals. They lost to the Lakers in 04, went to the finals. So like this is the level of what these type of teams do. They stay in contention. They win titles, but they also stay in contention for like 6, 7, 8 years straight, right? And by the end of that decade, they have won multiple championships, but they were an elite team for a decade straight, most likely, man. I think that's a dynasty.
Well,
no, the thing is that up here with that definition, that means I can't include the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. There was only I say that means I can't include the Shaq and Kobe Lakers because they was only title contenders for 5 years, not 6.
5 years, fair enough. 6, 7 was a broad number, but yeah,
What
5
do you mean
years. I
3
think
chips in
still
5 years? That's a dynasty.
And then
No,
three
what,
chips.
no, what, Jet,
But
what,
and sturdy. But what about the and that's why there's layers. I don't think there's one standard definition, but like the dominance of their run, does that count into the dynasty level talk that you talk about 3P, but dominating during that 3P as well?
I think after if you win 3 champions, that's like being dominant is kind of like implicative. You know what I'm saying?
We're going 15-1. They win 15-1.
What do you
Yeah,
mean,
like
like
it's
16-1 and shit?
Yeah, 16-1 exactly.
no, I'm saying like it's implicable with it. Like you don't win 3 champions, you don't have some form of dominance with you.
But there's still
It's
different levels of dominance.
correlative.
You can still win 3 titles and be tight championships all the way throughout. Or you can
for example, every single team.
Robert got a good point. Detroit they won in 3 different decades. Then if we're gonna do that,
Yeah, the franchise.
Yeah, not as an individual player.
Yeah, but they don't, none of them players on the
same franchise.
Same team though.
So it's the players.
You got at least be. You
got
got at least.
Yeah, it's definitely players. It's definitely players.
Yeah.
Definitely players.
Well, then I guess Kobe got 20 years then.
What?
Kobe got a 3P. And he did a back-to-back after the
Yeah, but
fact.
it was trash between that time though.
That's why he's an all-time great player, Lou. That's why.
Every dynasty, everybody catch. If you look at all great civilizations and nations, they fall. They have little hiccups throughout their time frame. America had the Civil War. I mean, we took some L's on our own, but they came back stronger. So I don't know.
What are you trying to say, Lou? Go ahead. That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Africa, I'm just
you speaking some facts right now.
No, the thing is, Lou. The thing is, Lou. For the most part, not even for the most part. That's just how it is. Like they typically with the same core of some sort, and is that iteration of dominance. Like, is of course it's highs and lows for every franchise, but at the end of the day, that's what the qualification for a dynasty is. I'm not gonna say the Warriors had a 60-year dynasty because they won 5 chips within 70 years. That's crazy.
Well, then y'all got to take the. Hey, Illa's trying to get in. Somebody got to bounce. Hey Ken, we don't really know you like that, so we're gonna take a.
That's crazy.
It's true. Illa's got more rank than you, Ken. So I'm gonna take a.
No.
Nah, you are.
No, Lou.
I'm gonna leave, bro. I'll leave.
Oh man, y'all hurt his feelings, bro. Come on.
Hey, it was gonna be a vote. I didn't kick him off. I was gonna
vote is crazy.
Oh, we was gonna vote on it anyway. BGs.
Yeah, I was going to jump. I was about to be in the move in a few minutes anyway.
Oh, I thought because somebody was trying to get into the panel. I thought
a lot of people trying to get.
Hey, I like that troll. I like that troll work earlier today. Started out that was peak trolling today, man.
Hey, let's hit that like button too.
Go to
PC on PC. That was elite trolling. Started. I like that. That was nice work. Very nice.
I got a quick question though. So y'all were saying Kobe was trash after the 3-peat and before.
No, the Lakers were trash.
Kobe was not trash.
No, man. Started stop it. Y'all just told me that it's tied to the player. Y'all said it's
the core, championship core, multiple players.
So y'all don't switch up, Sturdy. Hold on, stay.
But how was that calling Kobe trash?
Who's switching up? Who's switching up?
Calling Kobe trash?
No, he said the Lakers were trash after the
Lakers. Yes.
That's the
but Lou. Hold on, Lou, for a second. For example, right? Like, of course, typically multiple players, Lou. Scotty and Jordan, Clay, Draymond, and Curry, Manu, Parker, and Ginobili. Like, it's a core. You know what I'm saying? It's multiple players, not just one player. And we had this definition. You was on the panel with us on Bang Channel. We was talking about what is.
Derek Fisher was there, and Lamar Odom was still.
Derek Fisher was
no. Lamar Odom wasn't there for Shaq. Not for the whole thing.
Derek Fisher was. So.
Yeah, you can use Derek Fisher, but like Derek Fisher's not on the caliber like a Pippen or Clay or.
Derek Fisher didn't remove the needle, man.
Even Phil Jackson dipped. Even Phil Jackson dipped for a season.
Derek Fisher did not move the
needle. That man was clutch. No.
I'm keeping up this definition now. No, so hold on. So all right, so y'all said, all right, y'all told me first y'all was like, all right, the Detroit Pistons don't count because it was 2004.
Is it me or Lou breaking up?
Am I breaking up?
No.
You good.
Sound straight.
Okay, yeah, I ain't gonna be long. Don't worry.
Oh, that's me.
I just want to follow the consistency. All right, so y'all said the Detroit Pistons I can't use them 3 different decades because 2004 is a different team. All right, so then I said Kobe. Then y'all said they was trash after 2000.
One player can't be a dynasty. That was the answer to that.
Yeah,
One
thank you.
player
After,
is not a
they
dynasty.
said one player can't be the dynasty. Okay, so what about the Warriors? They were ass after a they had a second round overall pick. So does that mess up their?
And none of their core guys were playing though. None of their core guys were playing. Curry literally played 5 games.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, but Luke. Hold on, okay. Luke, to answer that question. To answer that question, they became a dynasty after 2018. Luke. 15 they won, 17 they won, 18 they won. Dynasty.
They won 3 championships already, bro.
Oh, they're already a dynasty. Okay.
With Clay, Dre, and Curry, and if you want Luke, since you added role players equal dollar, they won 3 championships in the 5 years with a 5-year span. Even before the second round.
All I wanted to know is that because y'all were making it seem like if you take a nosedive, you can't your success. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not consecutive, consistent years of winning and dominance. So I was like, then y'all kind of use them years the Warriors wasn't hitting on that. Them 2 years they weren't hitting on nothing, and then they won. I was just trying to keep it consistent. That's all I was saying because y'all quick to that to Kobe.
No, but they won. No, but they won 3 already by 2018. So by that time, boom, they was already
So you said they was already a dynasty?
By 2018, yeah.
They were calling.
They had 3.
I'll give you that.
They went to 4. They went to 4 straight NBA finals, and they won 3 of those things. Come on now.
Nah, you're right. I'll give you that. That's a good point.
Hey, George, you first of all, Illis was going to hit the lane. You just took Illis' spot, so that's why I had to kick you for one.
And Lou,
hold on. Time out. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I heard your takes on Lamont, bro. I'm not with the Bush. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care.
I ain't want nobody.
I really gotta say this though, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. But listen, dog, I'm not everybody else.
I just want to say
I'm not everybody else. So,
but Luke, like last thing. I keep the same energy. I keep the same energy for LeBron too. Remember, we was on Bang Channel trying to figure out what the hell you qualify LeBron's for. Him going to 8 straight finals. That he didn't go to 8 straight. He has no 8 straight, but LeBron did.
No, LeBron is the dynasty. It's the dynasty. LeBron.
Hey, he might be the only player in NBA history that's a dynasty of himself. He might be that. He might be that.
Luke, that's what I'm saying. Luke, that's what I'm saying. Dynasties are associated with teams. Luke, so real talk, Luke. I don't know how to label fucking that LeBron run. I don't. That's no person in sports did that shit.
Dynastic.
You mean Bill Russell did that shit?
No, Ralph.
But he had a core. He had a core with him that played continuously.
No player in NBA history went to 8 straight finals. He was the common denominator.
On multiple teams. On multiple teams.
Russell was a player coach. Come on, bro.
Multiple teams.
This man also coached the team. And played and drawn up plays for them.
No, see, I gotta get in my
He drawing plays for them and winning a championship.
You can't
Come on,
do that
bro.
shit.
That's crazy as hell. That is crazy.
No, Ralph.
You can't do that shit. I don't care if
coach and a player.
If a nigga team hop, that's his prerogative. But y'all cannot discredit what Bill did.
Nigga team.
Yo, team hop. Oh my lord.
No.
Ralph hated LeBron so much he capped.
I don't hate no damn LeBron if I got him at number 3.
Ralph. Hold on, let me say this real quick. Ralph. You can't use terms like team hop when free agency was a thing until the late 60s, bro. Second thing is,
at the end of the day,
it does matter.
Even if you got the right to leave, you're still team hopping. No matter what, you're going to you're wearing a different jersey. No matter
Ralph,
what.
I'm saying, Ralph, when you say LeBron was team hopping and Bill Russell wasn't, literally at that time, you couldn't team hop.
Say Bill wasn't, because I said just because he's team hopping and Bill stayed with one franchise, it doesn't matter.
No, he couldn't leave. What do you mean stayed? Stayed is a matter of choice.
No, you're not. Y'all not listening to each other. Y'all not listening. Hold on. Y'all not listening to each other. Ralph is saying just because LeBron moved from team to team don't mean he did it first or whatever. That's what.
No, I didn't say. Once again, you know, it's a Celtics fan. Like majority of that run, Bill had Sam Jones. He had Havlicek. He had pieces with him.
Right, but he did it without him. But he also did it without him.
I get you. He did it for 2 years without those two guys I mentioned, True. But when
that's
you say
that's still major though.
He's still
but true. Let me finish. True. The point is, nobody was with LeBron during that 8-year run. Nobody.
What?
That's the difference. That's the difference.
Now that's a lie. What you talking about? You got Dwayne Wade with one run and Chris Bosh, and then on the other run you got Kyrie. Then on the other run you got AD.
Okay, Ralph. Look what you Look what you just said, Ralph.
The Laker team's not part of the 8 years in a row, bro.
I don't know why you count that Lakers team.
You just stacking everything.
Let me take that off then. You got Wade
Let me just double dip and dip. Right. Oh my goodness, you're nasty. You're nasty for that.
Kevin Love.
The point is,
you didn't even say Kevin Love the first time. That's crazy.
Like the point is to get back to the thing. The point is, Lou, like real talk. I don't know. There is no definition for that shit LeBron did. I don't know to qualify that shit. But you can't say the dynasty because he's one person.
That's GOAT type shit.
Bill did it first. Hey, listen, Bill Russell's a Hall of Fame coach because of that shit.
Bill Russell like Ranger, he hit it first, bro.
Come on, man. Don't get into your Bill Russell back.
Three-time Hall of Famer. If I'm not mistaken.
True. No one denying that. So is Walt Frazier, but no one denying that, bro.
I will tell you.
I'm being honest though. I'm just being honest.
Top 15 player. It was your top 10 player, top 5, top 3 player, all time. No.
Your top 5 point guard, nigga.
No, but True King, I will tell you this though. When it comes to Bill Russell, I will say the fact that he won as a coach and a player, like you coaching up the plays for you to win a championship. Like you are the system. That's crazy.
Hey, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, right?
From the top and bottom. That is crazy.
Funny. Right, you know what's funny, right? The only time really the offense was good. Because by the way, y'all didn't know the Celtics offense when Bill Russell played was average at best, at bad. When the Celtics offense was good, he was the coach. But anyway, yeah, that's why he the GOAT. Man,
actually true. That
can't call him the GOAT
and it's 60. Was it 65, right? Yeah, I believe it was 65 when they had the first black lineup. They offense was elite that year. That was before he coached.
I want to say that was elite, but
discredit Bill. That's crazy. I thought that was my job.
I can do that though. No, but I do want to ask you though, Grant. I wanted to ask you. So is Kareem to you considered a team hopper?
We're talking about 1 to 2 teams.
That's Ralph too, by the way. His name not Grant, it's Ralph.
I'm my fault, Ralph.
Oh, you good, bro?
My fault, but my fault, gang.
He gonna answer it.
He went to 2. He got drafted by 1 and went to a new team.
He got traded, by the way.
Yeah,
he got traded.
He's the man in a trade. Yeah,
he did. Does that make him a team hopper like Dame?
I don't think Dame a team hopper. You mean?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me just say this real quick. This slave mentality that niggas getting punished for like wanting to move and shit. Niggas gotta stop that shit, bro. That's dumb. That's extremely stupid.
Hey, man,
I don't consider him a team hopper. I would consider him a loser till Magic grew up and became an adult.
What? So
no, he literally won, my nigga.
Bro,
hey,
how can you be a champion and a loser, bro? What are you doing,
Africa, the reason why I said that is because this nigga Magic was like 7, 8 years old when Kareem won his first championship.
So
that's a nasty thing.
What does that mean?
So that makes him a winner, Ralph. Thank you.
That makes him a winner.
A former winner, but when you got to
a former winner,
you didn't win anything.
So hold on, let me ask you.
How you a former winner?
What the fuck is a former winner?
Yo,
how you be a former winner?
Brother, please.
I understand what you're talking about when you talk about the basketball community, bro, Lou.
Brother, please let me get in.
Stay tweaking
Jordan
George,
King, let me get in.
definitions of players,
What you guys say, George? Hold on. What you guys say?
Not
George?
on the hair of my chin.
Yo, Chew, you brave for this, bro. Chew, you brave for this.
I'm
George,
listen,
what up, man?
What you guys
What
say,
up,
George? Man? What up, George?
I gotta come at Sturdy. I can't let Sturdy get away with what he did. How can you say a team that three-peated didn't dominate the NBA?
He
I
did
didn't say that.
dominating. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. We can move on.
He did say that. He went all around talking about they have ebbs and flows and ups and downs. How can you say a team that three-peated didn't have dominance over the NBA?
Ask him right now.
No,
ask him
once
right
again, George.
Once
again, George, I didn't say that.
He literally said the opposite, bro. What we doing?
Yeah, George. He didn't say that.
I don't understand what you mean. He said the opposite.
George. Look in the comment section. I literally put the 2000 Lakers as the number 6 dynasty of all time, bro. So yes, I consider them a dynasty. Number 6.
You said number 6.
Yes, number 6.
Y'all know basketball exists before 2000, right?
Did you say number 6?
That's the number after 5 before 7, nigga.
How could you put a team that three-peated? What were the team that three-peated?
Celtics.
What up, Mingo?
The Celtics and the Bulls.
Okay, so how did they become number 6?
Because you got the Magic.
Out of 3 teams, how did it become number 6?
George, are they better?
I'm not talking to you, bro. I'm talking to Sturdy.
All right, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Hold on. So let me do this.
Out of 3 teams that three-peated, how did they become number 6?
Because a three-peat ain't everything, bro.
How is not?
Exactly.
Hold on, let me ask you a question, George.
I'm talking to Sturdy.
Hold on.
Well, Sturdy ain't talking to you, nigga.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question, George. Are the Shaq and Kobe Lakers better than the Showtime Lakers in the 80s as a dynasty? We're talking about this championship. Who was more successful per se?
They went to 9 finals. They went to and they won 5 championships.
They're not.
Who got the better playoff record though?
Stop that.
What?
Playoff
record?
And it was that 15?
5 was my bro. Let me ask you a question. What's greater, 5 or 3?
George, why you not answering the question, George? What happened?
I'm asking you a question. What team?
No.
See, now I ain't actually to ask you a question. You
just gave you the answer. 80s.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're changing the narrative. You're changing the narrative. You're trying to compare one Laker team against another Laker team.
No,
yes, you are.
Comparing dynasties.
Yes, you are. They're all Lakers.
They're different.
George, the reason why I'm doing it because they're ranked higher than that's the 3-peat Laker team. That's why.
They're different teams, George. Different decades, George. What we doing, man?
Well, you see, that's what I'm saying. You guys will do anything to fit things to change the narrative to fit what you want it to fit. You're comparing Magic and Kareem against Kobe and Shaq to fit your narrative. You see what I'm saying?
What narrative are you talking about? What narrative?
Hold on.
The first thing you were talking about is what makes a dynasty, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So then you change it and make it fit your narrative to compare.
No.
That's what you were talking about.
George. Wait.
Am I right?
Oh, go ahead.
You sound like you're
Am I
emotionally
right?
attached to the.
Am I right? True the King. You were saying what makes a dynasty.
We're talking about the definition, True. We're talking about the 3.
Am I right? True the King. I'm not talking True the King.
Right. I'm listening. But so who do you think is the best dynasty of all time? Then I'm curious because I think we
as an organization, it's the Lakers.
We can move on. We can move on. Hey, we can move on. So why are you okay? So why?
Now you want to
as an organization? Organizations are not dynasties, bro. Teams are dynasties, George. What are we doing right now? What are we doing, George? What are we doing, man? You've been watching the basketball for too long. You've been on this earth for too long to not understand the definition.
Bro. See, that's what I'm saying. When you want to get negative and commentative, I can too.
Negative in what?
No, bro.
Right.
Hey, how are you calling a franchise a dynasty? Their individual teams are dynasties, George. That's why
individual teams
what are
are
we
like
talking
certain
about?
eras that what makes them a
Yes,
dynasty.
like the Jordan Bulls, the Duncan Spurs, the Curry Warriors.
Yeah.
George, come on, man, what we doing?
Then it would be the Shaq and Kobe because of the 15-1.
But
15 and
George, that's one season. We're not talking about the best playoff runs.
Yeah, that's dominant.
Yeah, George, exactly.
Seasons that make you a dynasty. There's a longevity that goes with talking about a dynasty. Exactly. Why a lot of people put the 80s Lakers because of the 5 championships, 8 finals appearances in the 80s over the 2000 Lakers, because their title run, while they did three-peat, was shorter. It was a much shorter run.
And George,
like I said, then you guys take it and you change the narrative to fit what you wanted to fit to include other teams to make them a dynasty.
But hold on,
the Heat is not a dynasty.
Hold on. George, nobody said
the Spurs.
Who said the Heat
is?
You guys were debating trying to make the Heat a dynasty. You were debating trying to make the Pistons a dynasty. You guys are debating trying to make teams a dynasty.
Nobody said
it wasn't though.
Hey, what stream was you listening to?
Yeah. The one right now.
No, George, a brother. Oh, go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
No. Sorry, young guy. Nobody said definitively those teams were dynasties. Citizen Lou brought up what was the criteria and could consider those teams short-lived dynasties.
There's no such thing. She's not even changing it to short-lived to dynasty. Is there a dynasty or short-lived dynasty or short-run dynasties?
That's the question.
No, don't change it. Is there a dynasty or not? Don't change the term. Don't change the term.
It was a conversation.
You crashing out,
No, y'all crashing out. Y'all do this every time. You change the narrative. Leave it alone and make.
My God,
we're having a conversation.
That was a conversation, man.
It was literally a question about what's a short. Can something be considered a short-lived dynasty?
Yes, like a back-to-back championship. Yes.
That was all it was. It was not a definitive. This team is a dynasty versus not. That's all it was.
It was actually a valid question by Lou, because he's really asking, like, what's the cutoff point for teams that are successful but are not considered dynasties? Where's the cutoff? And we were trying to, break down what it was, and that was a dialogue. That wasn't anybody trying to convince people that the Pistons were a dynasty. I don't think that's what that was.
Hey Sean, that Laker team went to 4 chips and 5 conference finals.
We got the other Action Jackson in the building.
Yeah, that's my guy, Action Jackson, man. Yo, what's happening, man? What's up, man?
Yeah,
I think it's a dynasty because of that. That's what I'm saying. It's not just that they won 3 in a row. It's what they did around that. They were in the NBA Finals in 2004. They were in the conference finals before. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's
in '98.
Yeah,
exactly.
They did have a run. They won. They repeated within that 6 or 6 year run or whatever it was. But it's, again, when you compare that to the '80s Lakers, who again,
I ain't doing that. I can't.
That's what I'm saying.
No competitions.
They won 5. They won 5. They went to 8 in 1 decade. They really only missed the finals twice in a decade.
Yeah.
Hey, where'd George go? I got a question for George. Got interested?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. Okay.
He's in timeout. He's taking his medicine.
Okay.
Why y'all doing George like that, man? I kind of agree with George. Y'all change the narrative.
Go ahead, Jay.
We were having a conversation, man.
We're having a conversation about what a dynasty is, not changing the narrative. What do you mean changing the narrative, though, Jackson? What we do? Man?
Like y'all was like y'all was trying to quantify like some of these dynasties, like with short lived and all that. It got to be a dynasty or not, man. Like y'all trying to throw some of y'all teams that y'all like and they're trying to make a dynasty.
No. I didn't say, but here's the thing though. I didn't say me personally, we was asking a question if they are though. I don't think that Miami Heat team with LeBron or the Isaiah Thomas Detroit Pistons is a dynasty. I don't think that, you know what I mean? It was just brought up in the conversation if they are, you know what I mean?
See, This all started because of Ken's statement, right? That back-to-back, his definition of dynasty was back-to-back championships and going to 4 finals in a 5-year span. That was his definition that took us on that road, Jackson. That took us on that road. So then we go down the logic of what about the Miami Heat? What about the Kobe Lakers? What about the Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas? Like, you go down that road and you break down why they're not and why just the back-to-back alone don't make you a dynasty. That was the road. There was a stream of thought, man. We didn't just start talking about these teams out of nowhere.
We didn't automatically put those teams in dynasty.
Nah, it took like a whole hour conversation.
Exactly.
So why when y'all to me the Shaq and Kobe is a dynasty, man. Y'all disqualified it by trying to compare it to the 80s, man. Like,
no, we were
who disqualified it?
No, we were ranking dynasties.
But
we were ranking dynasties.
Rank them.
Okay, at that point y'all ranking dynasty. Okay. My bad. I thought y'all were trying to disqualify.
Yeah, we're not trying to do nothing. See, that's what I'm saying. See, George, it's a miscommunication.
All that misinformation. He's crashing out.
Everybody confused. All this misinformation, nah.
Right. Yeah, it was just part of the dialogue. It was not they ain't no dynasty. So everybody agreed they were a dynasty. It was just there are dynasties you would rank ahead of theirs for different reasons.
No, man.
Longevity. That's all.
Okay.
I think the issue is because I think his issue is the fact that everyone said that the Kobe Shaq Lakers weren't a top 5 dynasty. I think that was the part that he was kind of having.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Issue with.
That was 30s.
That's how we got to this whole conversation.
And that was 30. That was 30s, John. That wasn't even that was 30 had a list on the check, and he came at 30. I mean, 30 not even here no more. It's like, bro, I don't even in the chat though.
So let's ask Action Jackson then.
Action Jackson, who that?
It's a different Action Jackson.
Okay.
I was going to ask
a different Action Jackson.
At the bottom. Yo, B about to take his blood pressure medication again.
Y'all did me the first time I came on, man. Don't do me like that.
No, there's another cat called Action Jackson.
Yeah, another person.
We know.
Yeah,
Le Champion. It's Le Champion. Hey, now I'm gonna start calling Le Champion now, man. Yo, chill out.
Action Jackson. I do want to ask you though. Do you think that the Kobe Shaq Lakers was a top 5 dynasty?
Which one?
Action. No. Do you think that the Kobe Shaq Lakers was a top 5 dynasty? From what you've seen.
What I saw. Man, that's tough. That's tough, man.
Remember, top 5. Think of
name off your best dynasties that you know.
Well, one gonna be the Bulls, then the Lakers.
Which teams though? Which teams you talking about? So the Jordan Bulls.
I think you mean Showtime.
The Lakers. The Magic.
Showtime. That's 2.
I'll put them second. Then
the 60 Celtics.
I have to go with the Boston. Then I'll go with the Spurs.
Throwing out names.
Yeah, I'm going with Boston, then the Spurs, and then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put the Spurs on because like they run, even though they ain't go back to back, like they had a hell of a run in the 2000s. Like that 2000 run was crazy. And then I'll go Lakers.
Oh, so they are top 5. Okay.
No. Hold up.
Ooh, wait.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough out of them in Golden State.
Or the Lakers.
It's tough out of them in Golden State. It's tough out of them too. It's almost a push. It's almost a push on them too. Because like they both had a hell of a run and they were dominant in that run, that little short span. Well, Golden State was a little long, so I'll go with Golden State. I'll push them out. I'll have Lakers 6. I'll push just because the Golden State was a little longer run. I'll push them out and take. I'll put Golden State at 5.
Well, how the Spurs beat the Lakers?
Where you had a
Kobe and Shaq dominated them.
Where'd you have a Celtics at?
That's an interesting one.
My top 5. My top 5.
Well, the Spurs in the 2000s just was busting, man. Like.
The Spurs never had any season under 50 wins now.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
You good, bro. Number 1 got to be the Bill Russell Celtics.
Exactly.
That's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
No greater dynasty than that. Number 2, the Lakers from 80 to 88, then the Bulls, then the
Oh,
Bulls.
explain that, Bees. Why the Lakers over the
Let
Bulls,
him get-
Bees?
Bulls in three.
Take it step by step. Make it interesting.
said-
Why the
Make it
Bulls?
simmer.
I'm about to tell you, the competition was greater.
Mm.
The competition was greater.
In the 80s or the 90s?
The 80s.
Okay.
The competition in the 80s was greater than the 90s.
That's debatable. I can't get mad.
Even though that's, so this is my list, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I got the Chicago Bulls third. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Sturdy's got the same list I got. Yeah, that's
Only thing.
Then I got the
Jordan
Spurs. Then I got the Spurs. Then I got the Warriors, and then
What?
I'll go with Shaq and Kobe.
Oh,
Y'all
at
smoking
6.
dope.
The Warriors.
The only
over the
difference
Shaq
I
and
got
Kobe
is
Lakers.
I got the 90 Bulls as number 2. That's the
And
only
I'm gonna
difference.
be real with you. I know we talking about the Shaq Kobe Lakers. That 80 Celtics team is a dynasty, and the only thing they don't have is they didn't go back to back, but they won in 81, 84, and 86, and they went to 4 straight finals from 84 to 87.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's not to be slept on.
That's nice.
That is nice.
And they had a run.
So according to you, Sean, you can have 2 dynasties in the same era, right? Just going back and forth with the Lakers and the Celtics.
Spurs and Lakers.
Yeah, they were 2.
It's Africa. It's why a lot of people who've grown up watching the NBA since then consider the 80s the best decade of NBA basketball for that reason.
Can I say something to you guys?
Go.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. The Detroit Pistons learned bad boy basketball from the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. So they've been battling for a long time. The Boston Celtics was one of the dirtiest basketball teams there was in the 80s. That's where the Pistons got it from. If you go back and watch the Lakers and the Celtics series, you learn where physical basketball was played at from the Boston Celtics. But they want to label the Pistons the bad boys.
McHale out here clotheslining dudes.
So
Going for layups.
if you want to discredit,
He said, "Yapa." I'm just like, oh my.
So if you want to discredit,
how could you?
So if you guys want to discredit the Pistons and what they did and what they battled through, you cannot discredit them because they learned how to play that type of basketball from the Boston Celtics to beat the Celtics to become what they are.
Well, George, my only pushback against that is outside of the Kevin McHale clothesline on Kurt Rambis. What other events did the Celtics do during that era that you would label them a dirty team?
Did you watch them play against the Pistons? The Pistons had to overcome the Celtics to become what they are.
Yeah,
they just didn't learn that on their own.
And I remember Bill Laimbeer often being the instigator.
No, sir. No, sir.
Bill Laimbeer?
No, sir.
Bill Laimbeer is one of the dirtiest players. No, he probably is the dirtiest player.
They get that from the Celtics, from Robert Parrish, from Cornbread Maxwell.
Wait, what?
These guys don't act like these guys are sweethearts. The Knicks, all these guys.
Was a sweetheart coming in.
The Eastern Conference was the physical.
Coming in as a teddy bear.
Robert Parrish was like that. True.
The Eastern Conference was the physical league.
Hold on, George. Let Sean finish.
Okay.
To be clear, Cornbread was gone in '85 before the Pistons made their ascension. It was them changing. It was the Pistons bringing Rick Mahorn in, realizing they needed to be tougher because the Celtics were a tough team, no question about it. But it was Bill Laimbeer who was often the instigator of those incidents. Robert Parrish responded. He did do something dirty to Bill Laimbeer in response, but it was never Robert Parrish who was instigating that stuff. It was Bill Laimbeer who was crossing the line mostly.
Okay,
the Pistons got that label, the bad boys. and the Celtics retaliated, of course. But yeah, and again, were the Celtics the cleanest team? No, they played within the rules. They did things. They pushed. They. But it was never
Danny Ainge and
behind
you did Danny Ainge and stuff.
Yeah, it was never them coming up behind you, punching you in the face, and all that kind of crap like some of those guys on the Pistons were doing. They got their title well earned. Trust me.
And they embraced it.
I got a quick question. How is Kobe's Kobe and Shaq not a dynasty? And how is
they said they were.
Nobody said
they put them last.
I was looking at Sturdy's thing. He didn't have
his top 5.
He just didn't have him in the top 5.
He had them 6. He had them 6 in his ranking.
He had number 6.
That's a LeBron fanboy.
I don't know if the Spurs.
Chill out, Drew.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Are the Spurs a better dynasty than Golden State?
Fuck, Bron got to do with this.
The Spurs are better. Is that a question, Lou?
Bro, Chris D. We talking about the Golden State Warriors that almost swept the playoffs, dog. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is like if you're talking about dominance, if you're talking about
how you not dominant though?
That's what I'm saying. How the
Spurs was title contender for like
decades.
Yeah, that's the same thing the Lakers did, though.
Yeah, but Spurs
decades.
Right, but Spurs was title contender for like almost 20,
but not really, because it was the Lakers and the Sacramento Kings in the conference finals.
You missing
the point. I didn't say, bro.
Which the Spurs dropped below 50 games.
Bro, they were still competing for titles. That run when they won their first championship, all the way to Tim Duncan retired, they was competing for championships.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That is true.
It was the Lakers hold up. It was the Lakers.
Behold, winning 50 games in the playoffs and not competing for championships.
Come on. Listen, I didn't say. Listen, you can compete for a championship without going to the conference finals. You do realize that, bro. Like, let's not play this game semantic. Listen, they're competing for a championship.
Just
every
because
year.
You win the regular season don't mean you're competing, bro.
Nigga, they won in 3 decades. They won in 3 decades, bro.
Like, what are you talking about?
I'm
not talking about the back end. I'm talking about they won in 90.
I'm not talking about the back end. I'm talking about the whole run. They was competing for. They won, which they won. They won 5 championships when Duncan was there. When Duncan was there until he retired, they was competing for champ. That's a fact. You can't deny
that. Every season, they were always in the contention for the title.
But it's not better than the Golden State. Golden State went through how many straight? 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. They went to 5 straight NBA finals and then took 2 hiatuses and then won it
again. Tim Duncan Spurs are at a losing season.
What hiatus did the Spurs take?
The Lakers did.
That first one was a lockout, so that's a hiatus in itself.
But bro, no, we're not doing that.
You are disqualified.
Y'all know how I feel about that. That don't count. That don't count.
What you mean? It don't count.
That lockout don't count. That's a strike here. It don't count.
That's crazy.
The bubble ship.
It don't count.
Hold on. My fault. Listen. Thank you. I'm gonna get you, Luke, because you were trying to say Miami was a dynasty, and that was a lockout year on 2012. Don't do that. Don't do that now. Don't do that. You can't do that.
Hold on.
I'm saying.
But hear me out.
But you all know. But let's say that the definition of a dynasty period, though.
I'm just comparing them to Golden State. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but when we talk, let's say that this is the dynasty word period. We all know the best dynasty is the one that's been the longest one. This in general, right? We forget this the sport. You know what I mean? Was the longest, and they had a longer dynasty. You know what I mean? So
yeah, because I agree with that. The degree of difficulty to like contend for like over a decade is much harder than just dominating an individual season. Like there's much harder,
especially in that Western Conference Finals. In that Western Conference Finals, it was one of the deadliest Western Conference Finals within the 2000s, and the Spurs were always on top every year, always on top.
And so was the Lakers.
But Chris D in Africa, how hard is it?
How can you say that? That's what I'm saying.
Pete, though.
Oh, it's very hard. Very hard. Yeah.
It's very hard to three-peat, but to maintain 50 plus wins every year and competing for a championship in that Western
The
Conference.
Lakers did that
That
too.
is
Kobe
incredible.
and Shaq. Kobe
That
and
is
Shaq
incredible.
did
One was-
too.
Well, let me ask you a question though. I mean, bro, these dudes won 73 wins. They had 73 wins too, bro. I mean,
Yes, they did.
They didn't win, but they had. I mean, I get you saying, bro, but I don't know, man. I don't think the Spurs dynasty is better than Golden State.
Hey man, listen. If Curry, True the King. If I curse, I'm sorry, but if Curry can pull another one out of his ass,
look at you can't control yourself. You got to start. He told you to start cussing.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, come on, Kurt. Like, come on, man. Don't,
Hey, how you gonna-
listen, man. I gave you the apology. man. But if Curry can pull one more and give me 5 championships, I mean, we can have that conversation. But I don't see them winning.
What
And that Spurs is not better than the Kobe Shaq.
Hey, Lou, let me ask you.
Gets 5.
What do you think is harder, Lou? What's harder, Lou, to do what the Duncan Spurs did, which is essentially contend for like 2 decades, for 2 decades straight, or is it or a three-peat? Like they're
What
both
you mean
difficult,
2
but what do you think is
decades
harder?
straight, bro? What are you saying?
Keep it real.
Since
They might have won one time in one decade and two in the other. What are you
talk about
saying?
1 or 2
George,
times? What are you talking about? They won 5 championships. Hey, yo, come on.
They didn't win them all in. What are you saying, bro?
Bro,
Kobe,
for 15 years straight, they were contending, bro. I don't know what else to tell you.
For when? What'd you say? 15 years.
I'm asking
15
you a
Y'all
question.
keep on saying hard. 2 of them years for Golden State was easy as hell.
I'm glad you said that. Hold on, Africa. This is what it is. I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. You said, is it harder to dominate? Is it harder to get 50 wins a season? What was the other part, or what?
Yeah, like for 15 years straight, essentially contending for 15 years straight, or you're making the playoffs every year, or three-peating. Well, what's more?
Okay, I'm gonna be real. Okay,
three-peating.
That's tough.
Okay,
That's tough.
So,
Man.
I'm gonna answer. So the first thing, the hardest thing to do is three-peat. That's one.
Okay.
Second thing, I'm gonna be honest. The Spurs, I'm a Grizzlies fan. Our division was trash as hell for the longest. I'm sorry, it was what it was. So it's not. I mean, so
you ain't impressed. You ain't impressed with the 15 years.
Hold on. I ain't letting you slide with that, Lou. I ain't letting you slide with that. You had Dallas. You had Dallas. You had Houston was good at times. That's not Houston was good at times.
Facts.
Who else? Who was you? It's the Grizzlies.
I don't know the divisions like that.
Yeah, the Grizzlies.
The Rockets.
The Rockets.
Teammate Grizzlies.
The Rockets.
But the Grizzlies wasn't that good. The Grizzlies wasn't that good in the 2000s.
The Grizzlies. Isn't the Grizzlies in that division as well? The Grizzlies.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with you.
The Grizzlies didn't get good till 2011, 2012.
Dallas, the Pelicans. The Pelicans were solid.
The Pelicans wasn't hitting on nothing until
the New Orleans was all right though.
Yeah, the Chris Paul Pelicans. They was
Chris Paul was nice.
Chris Paul was all right. They were completely trash.
Yeah,
I get
with David West.
I mean, they weren't completely trash.
David West was nice too. Oh yeah, that's facts.
David West, come on.
I'm with you on that. I mean, that's a fair point. The question on Africa. I mean, I just think it's harder to three-peat.
Lou, I just want to ask you one question. If we're just comparing the dynasties
alone,
let me ask you a question.
Which number of
me dominating you, or you dominating me for 15 years?
Hey, you just cut it off, bro.
That's a pause. That's a pause.
That was wild. That was wild.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And you cut him off just to say that shit.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, all I wanted to listen. If we're just comparing the dynasty of Kobe Shaq versus just what Tim Duncan was doing for that whole 18 years, how many championships would you rather have? 5 or 3?
See, I can't even hear your whole question, bro. Can you start over because there was a bunch of when he jumped in.
You got a bit of static.
Yes. Start over. What was the question?
My fault. Okay, so I was just asking, during that dynasty, if we're just comparing the Kobe, Shaq, Lakers, the 3 championships that they won versus the Spurs, would you rather have 5 rings or 3?
I would rather have 5, obviously, right? I'm with you on that, but I would
listen. Just me as a player personally, me being on a more dominant team for so long, and I got more rings than you during.
I will say this though, brother. I will say this. That's a good question.
Hey man, I'm walking out the happy.
I feel you on that, but if I get a 3-peat, if I bust y'all ass 3 years in a row and I'm dominating y'all can't see me. Y'all know y'all got to see me. You still can't do nothing.
I'm still taking
Nigga
that
wanna be
5
dominated.
though. I like that longevity though. I'm still taking that 5.
As a player, I'm taking
Talking
5 over 3. I'm
Because
taking
at the end of
5
the day,
over 3
listen,
any day.
because
That's
you
crazy.
listen, listen, because like you still compete. Ali still want to like you got 5. You didn't repeat, but you got 5 though. You competing every year.
Every year,
listen,
you're a problem.
Listen, Spurs
Facts,
made the
facts,
play. The Spurs
facts.
made the playoff for 22 straight years. They was contending for 22
So are you
straight
taking
years.
longevity over dominance, or dominance over
That's
longevity?
dominant. But that's dominant. Hold on.
The Lakers
That's
got
still
see
dominance.
them.
But that is a form of dominance though.
Exactly.
Making a playoff for 22 straight years is crazy. Like that's
competing against
That-
those
that-
Western
that's
Conference
dominance too.
teams.
Facts.
Come on now,
No,
man.
Bro, y'all gotta stop saying
not-
they
that's
competing when they
dominant.
was losing the
No.
conference semis multiple.
bro, they was still, bro. Don't do that,
Dallas.
bro.
No,
But
no,
when they-
Dallas to the Lakers.
Bro.
No, you
Numbers
gotta
don't
stop that
sound
because
right
the
when
Lakers.
you-
Hold on.
I'm with you, Ralph.
Hold on. Let me.
What are we talking about?
Hold on. Let me ask you this question. In 2000, when the Lakers went on their run, who were the best teams in the West?
Not the Spurs because they
No,
lost.
I didn't. You stop, Ralph.
No.
In 99,
The
we
Lakers-
lost. What are you talking about? 99, 2000, they lost in the first
He
round.
said 2000. He said 2000s.
I said in 2000.
1999, 2000 season, they lost in the first round.
Nigga, I said who was the best teams?
Hey. I answered your question, Beast. It was the Spurs. It was the
Like,
Jazz with
Ralph,
Malone.
Ralph,
It was
Ralph,
the
you
Mavericks.
yelling don't make you right, Ralph.
Well-
You trying to say she like you was right. You yelling.
It was the Steve Nash and Dirk in Dallas. There was Utah Jazz with Karl Malone and John Stockton at that point in time, and then the David Robinson and the Tim Duncan Spurs were actually
you had Portland
clearly
too.
one of the best teams. Then you had the
you
Sacramento
forgot about
Kings as
this.
well.
It was only three
actually a
teams.
stacked Western Conference, actually. Then you had the
Africa.
Pager, Chris
Shut up.
Webber,
Stop it.
Chris Webber.
You're gonna say the Clippers
Kings.
next.
What?
In 2000, in 2000,
the Kings were a great team. What?
In
The Kings were not a great
2000,
team.
in the year 2000, it was four freaking teams in the West: the Lakers.
Hold on, let's make that talk. Let's make that get it.
The Lakers, the Spurs, Dallas, and Portland. That's it. Those were the four best teams.
Hold on, make that.
Portland.
No.
What about the Kings? The Kings were good.
The Kings wasn't one of the best teams in 2000.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Y'all making this harder than what it is.
Are you saying in the decade 2000?
No, just that year. I think.
No, he
he's talking
said
about.
the
Just
year.
Okay, so that year Dallas was not good. Dallas was 2 games under 500. The
Yeah,
top
and
West,
Sacramento wasn't that good either.
top teams in the West.
Also, the Spurs. Also with the Spurs.
We're talking about the 2000. We're talking about the 2000-2001 season. Just to let you know, Sean.
No, I
No,
thought
we're
he said,
not.
no, he said 2000. The first.
The first Kobe and Shaq championship, the 2000 playoffs. That's what we're talking about.
I thought B said 2000.
No, he said, no, B said when they started the run, the first championship when they started
In 2000.
In 2000. That's what
Yeah, it was 2000.
The top team,
okay.
the Lakers.
Yeah, Jazz.
The Lakers won 67 games. The Blazers won 59. The Jazz won 55. The Spurs won 53. The Suns won 53. Minnesota won 50. Those are the only teams in the West that won 50.
Bro, that's still one of the best teams in the league, Ralph. What are you talking about, Ralph? What are you talking about, Ralph? They were better than anybody in the East. What are you? They were the best teams in the like. Ralph, stop! You crack like stop it.
Bro, they lost in the first round, bro.
Ralph. How many teams? Ralph, no. Hold on. Go ahead. Ralph, during that time in 2000, how many teams honestly was better than the Spurs?
No one said they wasn't bad.
That's the point. That's the point.
My point was they lost in the first round.
No, but
Ralph, we get it that they lost in the first round, but that season they were still one of the best teams if Tim Duncan didn't get hurt.
That wasn't my argument.
Duncan didn't play in the playoffs.
Ralph, we get what you're saying. They lost in the first round. So you think because they lost in the first round that they weren't a good team?
Duncan didn't play.
But that is false because Tim Duncan got hurt. But the Spurs was still one of the best teams along with the Portland Trail Blazers
they were still competing
and the
for
freaking
championships.
Lakers.
The point is that they were competing
I
for
don't put
championships.
Utah in there. Utah was crap.
No, the point.
No, the Lakers did not want to see the Jazz.
Hold on. Right. But the point is the conversation.
You know it's true.
Right, but the point is that the Tim Duncan Spurs was competing for championships for 22 years, bro.
No,
they had a 19-year run, a 16-year run.
It's hard to fight against
17, 16.
Like that's all I'm.
It is a good point. It is.
But I'm putting a longevity argument. And if that's the case, they had the longest longevity of a dynasty.
That's a dynasty, though. Dynasty is part of longevity.
I'm not that they're a dynasty, but if you're saying because of their longevity, they have the longest longevity dynasty out of everybody. So if you can't put them fourth or fifth, you got to put them number one if you value that longevity. Because they have the longest longevity. They won 5 and 16 years, basically. But y'all got them fourth or fifth. So that's what I'm saying. Do you want the longevity or do you want dominance?
Right, but Mac Def, here's the thing. Mac Def,
realistically.
Mac Def, hold on, Mac Def. Well, hold on, Mac Def.
What you not can't have both?
Hold on. But here's the thing about a dynasty, though. A dynasty is longevity. Comes with a dynasty, though. For one,
not always. The Kobe and Shaq. But this is the thing. Kobe and Shaq wasn't a long dynasty, but I still add the other two.
Is a long time. 3 years.
I still add the other two championships that Kobe got. That's 5. If you're gonna count the Spurs 5 and 16. I like Kobe 5 and 11.
No, it's about the core though. That's Kobe though. But let me ask you something, Mac. Why do you not
the core?
Yeah. If Shaq was part of those two, then you could count those as well. But
the Derek Fisher. Hold on, Derek Fisher and Phil Jackson.
Fisher core. Really? That's what we're doing. The Derek Fisher core.
Hold on.
That's what we're doing.
Like Kevin. Hold on.
No. Because you're talking about Derek Fisher.
No. Hey, Mac Def. Mac Def. This is what the core does. Right, the core of the championship run for a dynasty continues their dominance in terms of, even if they're not winning, they're contending. If you have 3 years like Kobe did, where you 3 years, hey, you tell me, hey, Mac Def, straight up. See, you want to finesse it, but I'm gonna ask you straight up there because I ain't even gonna go on a long explanation. Which dynasty has had a 3-year gap where they end up not making the playoffs, getting bounced in the first round, and then they come back and win a championship and do that?
The Warriors.
Who did that? Who?
They did not
have they did not do that, bro. They did not have 3 years where they were not contending.
Young Africa, they literally had 2 years where they didn't make the playoffs. If you're gonna add another year to make it seem like okay, it has to be 3 years
and
exactly to make your point, okay. But they had a 2-year drought.
One, there's context to that. The main play, Klay Thompson goes down, Curry goes down. There's context to that. And then another thing I would say to that is Mac Def, is that they were already a dynasty prior to them not making the playoffs. So, but even though, so they were a dynasty, right? They were 2 years out. You're calling those 2 years Curry and the Warriors not contending? Are you counting that on the record? So Curry was not contending for 2 years, right?
Yes, that's still hold on, Young Africa. Right now, today, the Golden State Warriors are still in their dynasty run. They're going on year 10.
Still?
Yes.
No. But my question to you is, if players from the core get injured for a whole season, have long-term injuries, are we holding it against them and saying the dynasty did not contend in those seasons? Is that what we're saying?
If you want to say that the dynasty didn't contend, cool, that's fine. But to say that they're not a dynasty and that their run stopped, no, that's not true.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm saying
that the dynasty didn't contend because of injuries, MacDef, not because the dynasty wasn't good enough. There's a difference.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
No, it doesn't matter.
Hey, nigga, shut up so you can talk.
Hold on, man.
Don't matter.
Hey, listen, man. Monetization. I got monetized. I got really super chats, man. Listen. Hey, Sister Lou, shout out, hey, monetization gang. Listen, hey, it's different now, man. Listen, hey. I got another one too. Hold up. See if I can. I like the new player fit. King Bro, I like the new player fist. Ting D. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. Hey, but salute to you though, King Bro. Salute to you though. Yeah, y'all get back to it. Y'all can,
All right. So what Spurs team is beating the 2017 Warriors?
No, come on. That's not.
That's a different conversation, bro. That's a different conversation.
Okay. My point is that the Spurs are not one of the even top 5 dominant dynasties. The Celtics were more dominant than them in the 60s.
Dynasty is dominating.
The Bulls, but we're talking about they have the longevity. But if we're talking about literally dominating the league,
nobody had no
dynasty.
number 1,
Okay, but they're not. But what I'm saying is that I don't think they're top 5. I don't think they were. They have the longevity, but they were not more dominant than the Celtics in the 60s. They weren't more dominant than the Lakers in the 80s, the Lakers in the 2000s, the Bulls in the 90s, and Golden State. They are not more dominant than Golden State.
No. Let me ask Mac that question.
Do you evaluate dominance more than actual longevity when it comes to a dynasty?
They all have longevity. That's what I'm saying. They all have longevity. The Bulls have longevity. 8 years is a longevity. Lakers in the 80s got 10 years. Shaq and Kobe got 4 or 5 years. The Golden State Warriors are on their ninth. The Golden State Warriors are on their ninth year. They just finished their 9th year. So
quit adding numbers. They had 4 years. They had no 4 or 5. They had 4.
What do you mean? They've been going to the conference finals since '98. Before the Spurs,
man. We going by decades.
Sir. They won. Hold on. Who is this? George. I didn't pass math class, but from 2000 to 2004, that's 5 years.
But no, But here's the thing, though. When we do the dynasty, you gotta go off in that decade.
But add everything up. He was just saying the Warriors didn't go to the playoffs or a team didn't compete because of injuries for 3 years. We got to understand this Spurs dynasty. They were the number 1 seed, losing the 8th seeds. They had a 6-year gap. They had a 6-year gap.
You're talking about
between
2011
championships. A 6-year gap.
No,
that's not dominant. That is longevity.
They went to the Western Conference Finals. And then in 2013 went to the NBA Finals, and then 2014 they actually won it. So
from 07 to 2014, that is a 6-year gap, 7-year gap between championships.
They were always in contention, though.
That's cool. That's cool.
You're not. So you're trying to tell me
like they had a down year. That's my point.
Hold on. Hold on, you're not going to tell me that Spurs, even if it was a gap, right? They didn't win. They were still. The point is, they were still competing for championships. That's not lies, and it wasn't.
Because you make the playoffs don't mean you're competing.
Yeah, Ralph, shut up, Ralph. You just lying.
But I don't count the Lakers in '98 just because they went to the Western Conference Finals.
You're trying to tell me. So you're trying to tell me a Tim Duncan team is not competing for a championship? Yes or no? Are y'all really just?
Yes, they are.
Okay, that's all I want to know. They compete because that's the point. A reason why they're reason why they're ranked. People ranked over the 2000 Lakers. That's the point.
And to say they're a
dynasty because of
championships. They were one of the
championships.
best. No, but Mac Def, they are one of the best teams in that elite Western Conference. They were one of the best teams every year. Like you had to see them. OKC had to see them. The Utah Jazz had to see them. The Suns had to see them. The Lakers had to see them, and they understood what that team was. For 17 years, they had to see them.
McDale, bro, they won the best teams. They won the same amount of championships as the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. They won the same amount of championships, bro.
Correct, but when we talk, they have the longevity, but. To me, I would take the more dominant dynasty over them. And the reason for that is because none of y'all can say the Spurs longevity, but none of y'all think the Spurs teams or any of those teams is beating any of those other dynasty teams. That's not
true. That's not true at all.
That's another. I understand that's another subject, but I take it in accountability. Like you're a dynasty, but you're not better. Your team is not better than any of those other.
It's
That's
not
not what we
hypothetical,
were saying
Lou.
though. Back there,
Because them
most
Lakers
people
beat
had them like 4 or
the
5.
Lakers beat the Spurs more
The
than them.
Spurs
but
dynasty is a
hold on, but that
longevity
don't make
conversation.
that don't make any sense. But first, that don't make any sense because that Spurs team beat all those
the Lakers
Kobe and
team,
Shaq
yeah.
team.
Yeah.
So that won't make any
Kobe and
sense.
Shaq got a winning record versus them.
I don't think.
I'm not
bro,
denying
what
that.
are
I'm
we-
not denying. Nobody denying that. But you
Like,
can't
what are we
simply say
talking about?
beating. Bro,
That's
come
how.
on.
That's
Y'all
how.
just-
That's
bro,
why I'm not
nobody
saying
denying,
they're
but
better than them.
But no,
Bro.
but Robert, it doesn't matter. You missed the point. Hey, salute Dante. I got to see what you did, Dante. Now, True done got monetized. What's up? I appreciate that. But listen, the point is though, y'all. Mac Def said that they can't beat certain teams when that Spurs team did beat a Shaq and Kobe team.
No,
And
I
they
said
did beat.
y'all don't. I didn't say that. I said y'all don't
Hey,
think
that's-
that they're better.
But no, the point is y'all trying to make it seem like they can't beat those other teams.
They're the
whatever.
weakest dynasty team. Yes, that's what I'm. That is
That's not
exactly
true at
what
all.
I'm
That's
saying.
not
I'm
true.
saying that Tim
First of all,
Duncan.
first,
None of
that's
those
not
Spurs
true at
teams
all,
was beating none of those championship dynasty teams.
Why they still got records still to this day in the finals when they in 2014? If that's the case.
They got that. I'm not discuss. That's not what I'm debating about. I'm debating
just
about
saying, like,
they have the longevity,
So
but
if
they
got
don't have
records,
the
it's gonna be
dominance.
hard to be beat. So you telling me
how you're in the playoffs winning 50 plus games.
16, so 15 Golden State to beat them.
Yes.
No, that's
15 Golden State.
So hold on. So wait, time out. So you mean to tell me the 99 Spurs is beating the 2015 Warriors?
No,
Yes.
Yes. Why you pick
No,
that?
especially especially that team back then.
My point.
With David Robinson and Tim Duncan,
My point is-
especially that team, they cannot
Yeah,
match the
yeah,
size of that
yeah,
team, bro.
that's
That's the
exactly-
wrong
you said-
team to pick.
you
bro.
said 2015.
That was the wrong team.
I got you. My hope, because that's a whole different comment. That's subjective. But what's not subjective is the dominance. They never went back to back. They
Back
had
then,
a 6-year. They had a 6-year gap between championships.
Hey, MacDev, they won 3 championships in 4 years. Hey, MacDev, you can finesse
They won
the numbers
3
all
in
you want.
5 years, not 4
won 3
years.
No, they 03 to 07. That's 3 rings.
And
I'm
count-
pretty sure
and
that
count-
means
count
4
the fucking years,
No.
young Africans.
03, 04, 05, 06, and then 06, 07 season. They're individual
5.
seasons. They're
That's
seasons.
5, you idiot.
I said 3 chips in 4 seasons, bro. And so that's 4
5
seasons.
years. You can't even count.
You want to
3
count the
chips in
years,
5
but not the
years. That'll go
seasons.
for A
You want to
study.
count the years, but not the seasons, MacDiff. That's what we're doing. You want to finesse it that badly,
03,
bro. You don't
bro,
want to count the
count on
seasons,
your
bro.
fingers. 03
Stop
to
it, bro.
07. Count on your fingers. 03
Stop
to
it, MacDiff.
07.
Hey, the point is this, MacDiff. Why do you consider
03,
longevity
05, 07.
not?
That's 3 in 5 years,
bro. Whatever you want to say, that's a
5
dynasty.
years.
That's a dynasty. That's a dynasty.
That's 3 in 5 years.
Hey, hold on.
Yes,
But MacDiff,
correct.
no, I got a question. for MacDiff because he wants to finesse. He wants to finesse and
I'm not
low-key,
trying
I
to
don't even
finesse.
like the
You can't
Spurs.
count.
I don't even like the Spurs like that. I don't even like them like that. But we got to at least respect what people have done and teams have done in NBA history. And so, why do you not consider longevity dominant? Why is longevity not dominant?
I do. I give them the longevity, but are
No.
they dominant?
I'm telling you, MacDiff,
I do
longevity
consider
is
that's
dominance, MacDiff. It
that
is
is
dominance.
that is a separate question. Do I consider longevity dominance?
Yeah.
It depends on what you did with that longevity. Vince Carter
What are you
had
talking
longevity.
Yo, hey, why you
I'll
acting stupid,
explain.
True? You know what the
I'm
Spurs
not
did with their
finna-
longevity.
Hold on. Let me explain
Oh,
myself before you cut me off. You just asked me a separate question from
No.
this
But
whole
apply
entire
it to the
topic.
Spurs. Don't talk about some other squad and some other players and all this other stuff. Just apply it to the Spurs.
And again, they had longevity. Were they dominant? Yes, they were dominant. Are they more dominant than the 5 other dynasties that I named? No, they weren't more dominant. That's a fact.
What's more? Hey, Mac. Let me ask you a question. What's more, 5 or 3?
You said what?
What's more, 5 or 3?
5.
All right, then. I mean, so that's why let's come on. You just admitted that 5 is greater than 3. Spurs got 5 championships in the dynasty.
Okay. But this is what I'm saying. You discredit again. You discredit Kobe. You discredit that. That's my whole point. Is that you can say 5 is better than 3 than the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. But still,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
But still, for the Lakers to three-peat, even let's just forget about Kobe's least 2 all of a sudden, 5 and 11 years. Just forget about that.
Did Mac Dev cut off?
Yeah, they cut off.
You know what's interesting, bro, about
He was
the
going crazy.
Repeated. So what do you think is harder, 3 and 5 years or 3 straight?
He must have been talking that whole time.
Hey,
Don't ignore me all y'all want. Y'all know they weren't dominant.
You cut off, Mac Dev. You cut out, bro. You cut out, Mac Dev. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
Hold on. And in 05, who did the Spurs beat?
Exactly. I was about to go there.
Those Pistons.
Oh, the best team the Lakers played in the run, right?
No,
right?
the best in the finals. Yes, in the finals. Yes,
the best team. Yes.
So see, the best team that the Lakers played in that run were the
final.
Pistons.
Yes, in the finals.
Which was the same team the Spurs beat. Was it not?
The best team they played in their run was the Spurs.
No. In the finals. In the finals. Stop finessing. You know what he means.
Because Ralph likes to change the direction of the conversation.
No, you changed the narrative.
No, I didn't.
What is the point? Okay, they beat that. Yeah, they beat the Pistons.
So
what's your point?
When you tell me about a run being more impressive, the run has to encompass the competition.
Yes. Philadelphia.
None of those teams the Lakers beat are nothing. Some of them teams are horrible.
And again,
the Allen Iverson 76ers, the Jason Kidd led New Jersey Nets. What?
It was in the Eastern Conference.
The Reggie Miller Indiana Pacers, bro.
So let me get. Hold on. You're going. Go ahead, B.
Hold up. They face New Jersey too.
Hold on.
No, they.
Spurs face the Nets too.
No.
Stop. The point is not who faced who. The best team out of that run was the Detroit Pistons. The Spurs beat them, the Lakers didn't. Don't tell me about what was more difficult. When the best competition you played, you lost to.
Are you done? So we don't want to get cut off.
Hey, true. You need like a trap beat when you do the 20-second timeout. You know what I mean? Like you need something.
I'm working on it.
Okay. So
that cut me way off.
B, you're basically saying because the Spurs beat the tougher competition, the Detroit Pistons, that they should be over the Lakers, correct?
What I'm saying is when you start talking about what was more difficult, right? What was more difficult? The first two years of the Lakers run were the Spurs at the same caliber they were by 03. Was that Spurs team?
They were better, yes.
No, they weren't.
In 03?
Oh my God.
No, in 2001, the Spurs weren't better in 2001 than they were in 2003.
Exactly.
They were not. So stop it, MacDuff. Matter of fact, the Kings were up there at that time too. The Sacramento Kings was one of the best teams in the West, were they not?
The Spurs did not have a tougher run of competition than the Lakers.
The point I'm trying to make to you is that the Lakers dynasty, even though it's Shaq and Kobe and they won, see, everybody wants to get on this three-peat like it's the holy grail. Who cares about a three-peat? You got a nigga that did an 8-peat or a 9-peat, and you don't give this nigga any credit.
Who? My phone.
The only one, man. The only one who did it back then.
The only coach in
William
to win a
Marcelius.
Championship.
You said who?
And this is why
my phone cut off. I'm not lying. Who?
William Marcelius, nigga. That's who we talking about.
The only man that won a
The
coach.
only one, Mac Dev. Come on, man.
What is he talking about? I'm lost.
Oh my god!
And just to provide context about the Spurs, right? For 2 of those championships, they beat the defending champs.
Who? The Spurs?
They beat the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat.
And they beat
the Miami Heat. Yeah.
And they beat the Pistons, who were the defending champs. To win championships. So it wasn't like they were playing against inferior competition when they beat the defending champs 2 out of those 4 rings in the 2000s.
Are we? And again, hold on.
Was Kobe in the West?
Yes, Kobe was in the
05,
West.
06, 07, he was in the West.
Yes.
Was he contending?
He was in the West.
Was he contending?
05 and 06, 07, no.
Why?
Because they couldn't because he had a crappy ass team.
Why?
Because he didn't have Shaq, man. Shaq left.
No.
They had a crappy team.
Because he was playing in the tougher conference, and Tim Duncan was obviously still at the top.
They had a crappy team.
MacDuff, here's your issue. I've heard you argue, and this is what I was trying to get to Africa a while ago. See, a lot of these dudes that will argue what MacDuff is arguing has also argued about how weak the East was and LeBron's era. That East was weak the whole decade.
Preach it.
So when you go and look at the Warriors and you say, yeah, the Warriors, their team was super stacked, but the Cavs wasn't nobody.
Stop.
That was a legitimate team. Was
Yes.
it not?
Yes, it was.
That team was better than any team that the 2000 Lakers played, was it not?
No.
Yes.
I don't think they were better. I'm not putting. They not beating the 04 Pistons.
That team beat the 04 Pistons without. Bro, stop it.
Wait, we talking about what team?
No, they're not. That's subjective. Go ahead. I'm not going to argue subjective and hypothetical.
Here, the 15.
You brought it up in the first place.
Hey, the 15, 16, 17 Cavs beat the 04 Pistons, bro. I don't know what you're
okay.
Come on,
you
one
out
of the
your mind, bro.
Bees, this is 2 points that I want to make. 2 points. Hold on. 2 points that I want to make.
Didn't LeBron beat him with a way lesser team?
What is a
about?
Let me finish.
Let me Daniel Gibson. Daniel Gibson. You telling me? Come on.
You are placing an all-time league defender with a crab of himself and Chris Webber. Stop it.
Bro,
McDyess as your starting guard.
I'm telling you right now.
McDyess is solid.
I'm telling you right now that Cleveland Cavaliers team, with the exception of the last year when it was just Braun and Love, they beat that 04 team.
Chelsea is walking Kyrie up.
So the 16 and 17 Cavs are beating the 04 Pistons.
Yes.
That's crazy.
No, it ain't crazy.
That ain't crazy to say. That is not. It's really not crazy.
Okay. Let's give. Hold on.
They lost to a 22-year-old LeBron. We're talking about a prime LeBron James at that point in time, bro. Like, that's what we're talking about.
When they lost, they didn't have a Hall of Fame freaking coach. And they didn't have their Hall of Fame freaking center who was the heart and soul of the team when LeBron did. I give him all the credit in the world.
Why do we hype up Ben Wallace like this?
What do you mean why we hype up Ben Wallace?
Ben Wallace one of the greatest defenders. That's kind of crazy.
He was a top 10 defender all time. We're hyping him up.
Let's put it on the table. If Kobe wasn't so successful to try to be the MVP, the Lakers would have forfeited.
We get that. They would have had 4.
Turning around and
we get that 4.
Team was a world beater.
They weren't. Hold on. How many people three-peat?
Good, solid team, bro.
They weren't world beaters. Are you serious?
No, nigga, they had a Mavs type run. The other team just didn't play how they were supposed to play.
First of all, for them to smack the Spurs during that run, for them to smack the whole entire Western Conference during that run, and smack the whole Eastern Conference 3 straight years. That is a form of dominance. That is dominating the league.
Smack the Spurs. When did they smack the Spurs?
In 2001 and in 2002 and in 2004. They smacked the Spurs. So while we're talking about them beating Detroit, they washed the Western Conference and they washed the Eastern Conference. They lost to the Pistons because we all know what happened with Kobe and Shaq and all that other stuff. My point is that Spurs run is not more dominant than what the Lakers did in that three-peat, bro. A three-peat is a three-peat. I don't care if it was YMCA, we playing Monopoly. If I beat you 3 times in a row, that is a form of dominance.
So hey, Mac Def, you know what's crazy? You a guy that talks about the competition a lot, and now we're not going to talk about the Pacers with Reggie Miller. We're not going to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers with Dikembe Mutombo and AI carrying the whole offensive load. We're not going to talk about the New Jersey Nets and Jason Kidd and Richard Jefferson and shit like that.
Okay, that New Jersey Nets. Hold on. So the Spurs beat the New York Knicks, the 8th seed, right? Hold on. We're talking about competition. They beat an 8th seed, right?
Yep.
Okay. They beat the New Jersey Nets, right?
Yeah. Okay. No one was calling them a dynasty at that point, but go ahead. Yep, they did that.
Okay. Hold on. Then they beat a Cleveland Cavaliers team that we all say was probably one of the worst finals teams ever, right?
Hold on, you skipped one for that.
Yeah,
they beat the. We already know they beat the Pistons.
Detroit Pistons.
They beat the Pistons,
and that's the win that legitimizes them over you.
Bro, no, it don't. Bees, that one win does not overshadow a three-peat. Hell no.
What about
the Miami Heat one though? No. What about the Miami Heat one though? Yeah, Miami Heat one definitely certifies that dynasty run. It definitely does. The Miami Heat one, what you gotta say about that?
What
with the big three, Miami
should have done if they have get Kevin Durant.
By a
record margin, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh.
If the core of Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker and their coach, four people, they had a 6-year drought. I don't understand why.
How are you in
why
the playoffs?
Kobe? Hold on, I don't understand why Kobe, Phil, and Derek Fisher going to 3 straight finals and going back to back is not a part of Kobe's dynasty. I don't understand.
He was a nice role player, but he's not. Like Pau Gasol doesn't exist. Like
the S is in your statement right now. Mac Def, the S is in your statement, bro. You said Kobe's dynasty. It's not individual.
Hold on. Does Kevin Durant have a fucking dynasty? Okay,
not Kevin Durant.
No. The Golden State Warriors. The Golden State freaking Warriors and that core have a dynasty. Kevin Durant made it a dynasty. I give him all the credit. But does Kevin Durant have a dynasty tied to his name and legacy? No, he doesn't. Okay. So, but Kobe and Derek Fisher winning 5 and 11 years, that's not a dynasty all of a sudden.
No, but don't. No.
Okay, I got you. We can pick and choose. We can pick and choose. I got you.
You gonna take out the guy who won the 3 MVPs in the Derek Fisher dynasty. That's what we're doing now. A Kobe Derek Fisher dynasty
back there. The problem with
that's crazy back there.
No, it's a franchise.
Magic Johnson.
Hold on. Time out. Let's put it like this. Let's say I win 3 championships in a row, right? Let's say I play for the Portland Trailblazers. Let's say, boom, I win the championship. I get traded the next year. Young Africa, you won the championship. You get traded the next year. Sean, you won the championship with Portland. You get traded. Portland just won 3 straight with 3 different niggas. Is that a dynasty or not?
That never happened in NBA history.
Hold on. I'm asking. Is that a dynasty?
That's never happened.
Fisher, you're literally comparing Magic Johnson and Byron Russell. Like he was a role player, and that's nice. That's what.
No, I'm not. Because every year the freaking team changes.
No, it's not the core. Let me ask you a question.
What?
Let me ask you a question.
You finessing, man.
For the 80s Lakers, you consider them a dynasty, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we talk about the 80s Lakers, we say Kareem and Magic. Who's the third guy we talk about when we talk about the 80s Lakers?
Worthy.
James Worthy.
Right. But there was a guy who was on all 5 of those finals teams that nobody says before James Worthy.
Cooper.
So for you to say Derek Fisher is a part of the dynasties makes it a little disingenuous.
Very disingenuous.
No, it doesn't, because I said Kobe. I said Kobe, Phil, and Derek Fisher. They won 5 and 11 years.
That's an amazing finesse, though. That's an amazing.
No, it's not, because you have the Shaq and Kobe three-peat. I'm not going to argue with that. But again, you have the Warriors dynasty. But don't we say the KD Warriors as well? But nobody's going to freaking tie a dynasty to Kevin Durant's name.
Hold on, but back up. People are more likely to tie a dynasty to Kevin Durant than they are Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher, facts.
Hold on. That's basketball community. That's crazy. That is crazy. Kevin Durant winning back-to-back championships is a dynasty, but no. Derek Fisher winning 5 is not.
I'm not saying. I mean, we know Derek Fisher won, but
he's just in that caliber.
It's just levels, right? That's all we're saying, Mac. It's not saying Derek Fisher didn't win 5 rings. It's not saying that at all. It's just levels. That's all.
How is the Spurs over the Warriors? They not. I don't get it.
And again, the issue with the Spurs is their longevity. People, consider the New England Patriots a dynasty, even though they went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl.
Brady got 2 dynasties.
Hold on, again, the initial term when they talked about dynasty was not just the number of championships, but the number of championships you win over a certain number of years, right? The Patriots won 3 and 4 years on their first run, right? But they went 10 years without winning. So if you just base it on the first 3 that they won, the 3 and 4 years, and the 10 years after they went without winning, there are people who would say they weren't a dynasty by definition because their winning didn't have longevity to it. They had a great run, which was 3 and 4 years, but they wouldn't call it a dynasty in the truest sense, because dynasty, part of it is longevity. That's all.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. What?
No,
that's part dynasty. Of Mac, you come on, man. You can't even.
Dynasty. Hold on. First of all, a dynasty is you have to win 3 freaking championships in a certain time span. If I win 3 in a row, I'm a dynasty. If I win 3 in 6 years, I'm a dynasty.
But that's not it.
That's a dynasty.
That's not it, though.
Macbeth, you're not going to fit their criteria because they are not Laker
George,
fans.
you don't even know what we're talking about right now, George.
They're going to keep changing it on you. They're going to keep changing it. They're going to keep changing it. You're not going to fit it. They're going to keep changing it.
They are the only dynasty that didn't even repeat. That is crazy.
And the thing, there's a difference between you can have a great run.
You're agreeing with George, man.
You can have a great run, and then you can have when people talk about dynasty, there's a longevity to it. It's not 3 years. It's not 4 years. That's not longevity in sports.
This man just brought up let me say something. This man brought up who the Lakers played when they won the 3-peat. Who did the teams
beat? Mac brought that up. Hold up.
No,
George, though. Mac brought that in.
But no,
I know what B said, but B said it for a reason. No, but B said that for a reason because Mac brought that in the equation about who the Spurs beat, whatever case may be.
The Spurs is the weakest team out of all those.
That's the point, but that's why B brought it up.
How did those teams make it to the championship? Who was they beating in the East if they were so weak?
No, but that's not. You're missing the point. The point is Mac brought in the fact that the Spurs were the dynasty.
They were beating teams like the Reggie Miller Pacers, who no one's gonna call it.
First of all, they beat one of them Bulls teams too. That Spurs team, one of the Spurs teams beat one of them Bulls teams too.
Don't disrespect that.
Yes, it is.
That's not the question I'm asking.
Yes, they are, bro.
I'm asking the question is, how did the Pacers make it to the finals? How did the Nets make it to the finals? And what was how did the Magic make it to the finals?
Man,
I'm not discrediting the Lakers. I didn't discredit the Lakers. I'm not discrediting the Lakers.
Hey, why you bring up the Bulls?
That's what I want to know.
He
don't deserve no response. The Spurs is the weakest team and the weakest dynasty out of all the freaking dynasties.
They really not.
None of them Spurs teams is beating the bad. None of them Spurs teams is beating the bad boy Pistons at that.
Hey, listen. Hold on. One time you yelling. Hold on. 22 straight years is now weak now. 22 straight years being a title contending is weak. That makes no damn sense. That don't make no sense whatsoever.
Bro,
that makes no sense.
Again, they have longevity. They have dominance. I'm not
part
they're
of a dynasty. That's part of a dynasty.
I'm saying that they are. Y'all act like I'm saying the Spurs are not a dynasty. They are. They have longevity.
No, listen,
they
this
got
whole
dominance.
conversation realistically just comes down to what your criteria is. That's all this
No,
conversation
it's not
is.
even. It's not even criteria.
That's all this is. You just
That is really what it is.
No.
It's really what
Mac Def, you like more dominance. That's cool. A lot of people prefer more longevity with the dominance. That's all this is. That's all this. So
basically,
that longevity fits you guys' narrative.
Everybody's got.
You keep. Hey, hold on. Time out. You keep saying like you saying something. Yeah, you not saying nothing. You change the narrative. You ain't saying nothing.
That's what you guys do.
You not adding nothing to the conversation, George. Like you just saying, like, come on, bro. You ain't adding nothing to the conversation.
I'm talking from a historical. I'm talking from a historical standpoint. They are dominant and they have longevity. To me, they're the weakest out of 7. None of those teams are beating their best. The best Spurs team are beating none of the other dynasty's best teams. To me, I don't think the Spurs are even a top 10 team all time. And the historical standpoint, the Warriors went to 5 straight. The Celtics went to 8 straight. You got 3 three-peats between 2 teams, the Bulls and the Lakers. You got the Lakers in the 80s going like 8 and 10 years. I don't understand they don't have no historical standpoint in their dynasty.
No, Mac
they just got longevity.
Hey, hold on. Hey, we can move on because we ain't getting nowhere. Because we can move on, man. Hey,
y'all lost on that story.
Listen. But what brother? He said about super teams. I'm sick. Like I said, I'm sick and tired of that term super team, bro. Because when it comes to any other team sport, when we see similar moves and movement with players teaming up or teams trading for, nobody calls it a super team. You know what I mean? When it comes to football, hockey, baseball, that dumb term only is for echelon players in context of basketball. It's weird.
I call
take Jared comment off there. That's a lie.
Team. No. I call the Celtics a super team, a team of the 80s, and I call the Lakers a super team of the 80s. Like, if you're just that talented and you got that many all-stars on your team, then the hell yeah.
There was no such term in the 80s. The media brought that up.
And just real talk, just real quick. I think part of when we talk about dynasty, it's not just the championships. There is an equation that does include what you did during the regular season.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
No, I'm telling you.
This nigga just talking, bro.
That's what
50 games,
this nigga
not
just
one
talking,
season.
Because again,
this nigga talking.
Not one season under 50. That's crazy.
So let's on talk.
No, that's true, Sean. Like the dominance. Speak to that.
There's certain terms that we like to hold dear when it comes to sports. Dynasty is one of them. GOAT is another. It's why we don't assign those terms to everyone. So what's the criteria? The criteria is not just how many trophies you got. It's what did you do during the regular season? How dominant were you during the regular season, right? One of the reasons, and I'm going to give you the example about the 80s Celtics. And one of the reasons why they're considered a dynasty, they won 3 titles in the 80s. They went to 4 straight finals at one point, but they also have one of the best regular seasons ever and have a record that's likely not to be broken by any team. They went 40-1 at home. When you talk about dynasties, it's not just a championship thing. It's let's look at their entire resume. Like,
hey, Sean, what did the 72-10 season do for the Bulls dynasty, Sean?
I think it was huge.
Yeah, it elevates it. Definitely elevates.
Yeah, it elevates them. And again, young Africa. I've said this, and I've said this to SB. I think the 72-10 season, it's an all-time great season. Can't take anything away from it. But what's not talked about enough in context is part of the reason why they had that season was the league expanded that year. They had expansion teams.
Can I interrupt you for a minute? Do you think that
diluted the
wait? Can I ask a question? So hold on. Do you believe that Larry Bird should have won Rookie of the Year over Magic Johnson?
Yeah. Oh my God! You about to lie.
Yes.
That's from the. That's a straight. That's from the.
The reason. And George, let's get into it. It was random as hell, but
random as hell.
But the reason why Larry Bird was Rookie of the Year because he led a team to his rookie year as a contending championship team, and Magic Johnson was, second. Where was it? Magic second best player on the team. Magic was second best player on the team.
Second or third.
Won MVP that year.
Second or third.
I said Rookie of the Year. I didn't say MVP.
Right, no, I said my fault for saying MVP, but Rookie of the Year. But what up, shout? Hey, but let me read these super chats though. Y'all. Shout out to MC Robinson with the super chat. Shout out T Streets. My fault, MC Rob. Who is the best dancer in the NFL? We won't get to that. And T Street said, how much time will this get? Mingled George off food. That's crazy. How much time? Listen, man. I don't know, but listen. That's
got an answer for that question. Who is the best dynasty in the NFL?
I'm a Niners fan, so I'm biased.
It still isn't Patriots. It still is a Patriots. It's
hell no.
Patriots.
It's one of them. It's six
Dolphins. I don't care.
I hate them, but they Pittsburgh Steelers in the 80s.
They didn't win in the 80s.
The 70s.
They still got sick. They have a long. They both Steelers and Patriots top 5 when it comes to wins, and they got 6 Super Bowls. You can't take that away.
Patriots got too much controversy.
I don't care.
I know you.
Everybody got you controversial, George. So you should relate.
I like this. I'm biased, so I want to go. I want to go with my Niners. But if I'm being who's the best dynasty, to me, they got the longevity and they got the dominance. It's the '60s Packers. There ain't nobody else, ain't no other team in the history.
I'm talking about franchise. I'm tripping. Repeat
no,
that.
Ain't no other team.
Best dynasty. My fault. The best dynasty is the '70s Steelers. My fault. I don't watch that. I can't.
It's the '60s. It's the '60s Packers.
It's the Steelers and the Cowboys.
No other team in the 100+ years of NFL won 3 in a row. They won 3 in a row plus back-to-back Super Bowls. They won 5 championships in that.
No, I'm gonna stand on. No, I'm gonna stand on that. It's the Patriots. I'm tripping. The Patriots. I ain't gonna. I don't care. I'm bossing out. It's the Patriots because it's Patriots. Clearly, 6 Super Bowls. That's 6 Super Bowls. That's part of a whole.
No, you can't. No.
Yes.
It's not no 6 Super Bowls in that 16, 17-year time span.
For the Patriots, yeah. That would
you got Bill. You gotta pick. There's 2 different dynasties. They hit a reset, but I hate that. They hit a reset button, bro. You either pick the 2000s Patriots or the 2010s.
I'm about to cook Joaquin Cabana.
Because it's a 10-year gap.
Shit he did with the Spurs.
Sorry, no, I'm joking. I'm clearly I'm a Patriots fan. I'm joking.
Yeah, what does mean? It was the same.
Yeah, that's why we know you're joking. You was joking about the Spurs.
Man, your whole take's a joke.
I'm going with the '60s Packers.
You said the '60s Packers. It really, but all jokes aside, though, it is the Steelers, though. It is the Steelers, though. It is the Steelers. 70 Steelers. It's not about because the dominance, the Hall of Famers that was on that team, they changed the game. Terry Bradshaw Hall of Famer because like Terry Bradshaw, a trash quarterback, made the Hall of Fame because of the dynasty of the Steelers, man. So
is the Steelers or were the Steelers the best team in the 70s?
Yes.
Come on, bro. Like, why?
No,
I'm curious why you asked. I'm curious why you asked that question though. Like, I want to see where you're going with.
Because there was a team that won back-to-back Super Bowls with an undefeated season that beat the Steelers.
Oh, you petty as hell.
Yeah, that was petty.
The Dolphins, your Dolphins, that's petty as hell, man. That's
hey, man, I'm a Dolphins too, man. I'm a ride for my Dolphins, man.
It's a good question.
I think the
Steelers is the greatest defense of all time, but I
mean,
mean,
Mac Duff though,
you can't really put them over the Dolphins.
Here's the thing, though. But we're not talking about teams though. We're talking about dynasties though. So who is
how you the best dynasty when you wasn't even the best team? How were you the best dynasty when you weren't the best team of the decade? Is what I'm saying.
We're not doing that.
They won the most in the decade.
You're equating them being the best team for one season for the entire decade.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, man. Who had the best team?
They had a
the Steelers. The Steelers won the most.
The Dolphins had an undefeated season.
Steelers, Cowboys, 49ers, then the Patriots.
Decade. Like, you got to take the whole decade into account. It's the Steelers.
It's the Steelers.
Mac Def, why you always finessing Mac Def? Like you finesse.
No,
Def,
you can have the Steelers. I think they're the greatest defense of all time.
It's just interesting. I don't even know
when you got the Miami Dolphins who went to 3 Super Bowls,
the
3
Chicago
and 4
Bears,
years.
the greatest defense of all time, and the Baltimore Ravens.
I got them number 2.
And the New York Giants.
New York Giants is top 10, but I'm just saying an undefeated season, back-to-back championships.
You ain't gonna tell Lon Staley.
I think you honestly the best team of that decade.
Yeah, they didn't win back-to-back championships. They went, but they didn't win back-to-back. They only won one.
They won 72 and 73, right?
No, they didn't win in 73.
Who won in 73?
Was it the Dolphins?
I think they beat the Minnesota Vikings, Sean.
Oh, I think it was Raiders. I think that was the Raiders that beat the Vikings.
Yeah, the Raiders did beat the Vikings.
Yeah,
that was in 76. They went undefeated in the Miami Dolphins went undefeated in 72, and then they went back in 73.
No, they went back to back. They won back to back 72 and 73. They won back to back 72.
I think
I'm looking at it now.
I got the Steelers as the best team though. Yeah. I got the Steelers as the best team though.
Yeah, cause remember 72 they had that undefeated season. Yeah, I mean, Mac Def is capping, but put it in context with Mac Def is saying, because I mean, I do think the 17 need to get talked about more. Those teams, they lost 2 games in 2 years.
And went to a Super Bowl the year before that, so they went 3 straight Super Bowls.
Put it in context. Wait a minute now. Hold up. So taking like in 3 because they got to the Super Bowl in 71 and they
lost to the Colts.
They won. So and they lost only 5 games in 3 years. It's
y'all messing up now. Because Kansas City won one of them years.
95 Cowboys are smoked that 72 team.
Y'all messing up somewhere.
But that being said, though, you talk about dynasties, they still not over the Steelers.
Yeah, if you're talking dynasties, they're a dynasty. Yeah, but I'm just saying, how is they the best dynasty when debatably they wasn't even the best team?
They not. Come on, bro. None of them 17. Come on, they may have got the Steelers, but what was the best Steelers? What year?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe
you say they may have got it when they actually walked into Pittsburgh and beat them in the AFC Championship.
Talking about, man, 2-4. Y'all were just talking about 3 and 5. It's 2 and 4. Come on, man. They won 4 in that decade.
Yeah, you can't even argue that.
I'm saying we talking football. It's just.
But here's the thing though. We all know in football. Hold up, but we all know in football though. You don't need a game necessarily. I mean, a game is you win, you win, but
I'm not gonna pick. Nah, the Steelers was dominant, man. They had like 11 Hall of Famers on their teams. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'll take the 60s. I'll take the 60s Packers. Everybody on that team is a dynasty. Is a Hall of Famer, damn near.
I mean, you can't. Can we stamp it that will never be undefeated team in NFL? At this point, yeah, because you add more seasons to it, like games to a regular season.
Nope, I'm not giving up on my Niners.
17, it's not even, to be honest with you, it's not even smart to even try to go on it. I mean, of course, try to win games, right? But like, try to go all out to beat you know what I mean? To be undefeated, like that's the goal. That's hard to do. Like,
because them last couple of games, if you got the playoff spot, you got the number 1 seed. It's not worth playing the last 2 games.
The rest of your best players is whatever. I mean, like you trying to go 17-0 in the regular season. And they gonna they trying to add more games. If I ain't mistaken.
Trying to add an 18th game.
18 games.
For real?
So
Damn,
shoot.
that is way too much, bro.
So shoot.
All about the money.
That's way too many games.
It's all about filling them stands. Trying to get that NCAA money.
But that's why
what you gonna see players
Talking about trying to get the
not
NBA
protesting but sitting out
I
games.
said NCAA money.
It's not. It's about the media deal. It's not about the stands. It's
yeah.
about money.
Yeah, if I'm a coach, I'd be sitting out some players. We're not gonna play no motherfucking 18 regular season games. We had you could have the division wrapped up in November and got 10 more games. that's crazy.
Yep.
Had a division wrapped up and got 10 games. That's crazy.
Yep.
Hell no, I'm not. I'm not putting my boys out there like that to draw. Hell no. You're gonna lose that product.
What do you think is a harder schedule though? The NFL schedule or the 82 game NBA season though?
NFL.
NFL.
I know the games are rougher. It takes more out of you, right? Is that why?
NFL or NHL?
The NFL. You got guys who play on Sunday who say, honestly, they don't even start to feel normal until that Friday. It's like literally being in a car crash for 2.5 hours. The guys can't even. They say it's like getting up out of bed on Monday is a chore. That's how rough it is.
You ever watch any of those guys' podcasts and they tell you what be going on that O line, on that D line?
Yeah, the human body's not made for the NFL like for football.
And
I think Roger Goodell's ruined the game.
They be pissing on the field, doing all type of stuff. Man, that's horrible.
They pee on themselves during the game and shit.
Man, watch some of their podcasts and watch what they be saying. They be going on out there.
Damn.
Man, there's nobody be doing that, man. We cut it out.
Watch their podcast, bro.
They do not be doing that, bro. They'll go behind the bench and get somebody to hold towers over.
Man, when they be out there, I'm just telling you what they be saying on their podcast, bro.
What'd you say,
bro? When you're a junior brushing like that, you was not paying attention to yourself.
All right.
No. Hey, y'all would have gave Jaylen Brown that 300 something million.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Nah, he ain't getting that money.
Ain't worth that to me.
Hey, well, hold up though.
I ain't see that.
Y'all got rid of Grant Williams too. Bro. I don't like what. I'm be honest, bro. I don't like.
It's a younger version of
Grant Williams. Is Grant Williams officially gone? He officially gone.
But hold up though. I gotta go though, man. I gotta get to work. I gotta go. I appreciate all y'all about in the stream.
Salute.
All right, bro. Salute.
Salute, famo.
Appreciate all you. Appreciate all y'all though, man. Wish I could just be a little bit longer.
Oh, good.
But,
True to monetize, man. We see you, man.
All right, Lou. I mean, true. I'm tripping.
That's funny. That picture.
Stop disrespecting Kobe, bro.
Oh my God.
Man, get out of here, Joe.
All love for Kobe, man. All love for Cobes. All love for Kobe, man.
Like I said, appreciate all y'all though, man. I'm out. Peace, deuces. I will sing later. Stay tuned. Hit that like button. Share, subscribe, all that. Peace, salute. I'm out.